Hello. Sorry, I just turned my monitor on. Couldn't hear myself. Hello. Welcome. Sorry, there have been issues with the VODs publishing, but I fixed it. So they should be there and shouldn't be a problem. Happy Wednesday. How is everyone doing? I'm glad that you were inspired to watch the cinematic masterpiece that is Flavor of Love. Hello. It's Wednesday. Guess what? Let me check actually. If all is good to go with the brand, we should have a video for you at some point today. Okay. Sorry, let me send a text right quick. Let me send a little text. Booker's good. He's been following me around all morning, and now that I'm streaming, he's gone. It is for democracy. It is for Super Earth. My favorite games as of late. That's a great question. I played both Obra Dinn and Papers, Please, and I loved them both a lot. Thank you, Carlita. And Helldivers is super duper fun, and we'll have a video for you. Here's the boy. Here's the man of the hour. Oh, what's up? He has been glued to my side this morning. I don't know why. Hi. How you doing? You good? Yeah, he went and got his follow-up blood test, and things are looking good. He's maybe a little dehydrated, but I've been putting a ton of water in his kibble every morning and night. Right, boy? Weenie man. Yep. And there he is. So, thank you all for your patience in getting these videos out. We really did want to be better this year, and life finds a way. But guess what? I will tell you, and I'm sure Matt will tell you all about it next time he's on stream. I gave him his birthday present early because he's been trying to troubleshoot every single thing and trying to fix things and just make things better. I gave him an early birthday present because his birthday is in 4 days. I gave him a loop deck for editing. So he programmed it and he loves it. And so if you are an editor, loop deck. There you go. And he's very excited about it. Makes things so much easier. A loop deck is, well, back in my day, loop deck was just like a looper pad for music making. You know, you could be like la 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 tick la 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 la, you know, one of those things, like a loop pedal. Yeah, but now they're utilized for all sorts of things, and this one came built in with, or not built in, but the software came with like a full Premiere profile, and it's got dials on it and knobs, and so he can shuttle with the knobs and crop with the knobs, and it's just like so much easier. It's not a keyboard. It's closer to like a Stream Deck. Oops, this is hard for me to show you. Okay, well, I'm trying to show you, but the cord is not allowing. Google Loop Deck CT. That's what I got him. So yeah, he loves it so far. It's made things a lot easier, and there's a little bit of a like getting used to it learning curve type thing, but he's so much happier editing with it. So good job, me. Good job. Good gift. Yeah, DJ Matt has entered. He's going to be like Mattion next time you see him. Did you and Matt see the Elden Ring DLC trailer? I didn't see it. I heard about it at this moment. I don't know if we have plans to play it. But, yeah. Yeah, it's a programmable macro pad type thing. But the most exciting thing about it, I really wanted something with like knobs. I wanted him to be able to shuttle and stuff like that, and and yeah, it came built in with a thing like, I don't know if any of you are video editors or have video edited, but Matt uses a crop effect so often, and every time you do that in Premiere, you have to go to the effects search bar, type in crop or whatever, or go to effect controls, scroll down to crop, drag it, or like click it, put it, like click the correct clip, and then you can like drag the number values for vertical and horizontal or whatever, or I don't know, it's very whatever. But listen, with this assigned knobs for cropping, all he has to do is be over the clip that he wants to crop and then start going and then it just starts going He was so stoked. He was so stoked. So that kind of thing, imagine like that ease for everything. I mean, he's a very organized editor. Okay, so he's always, how it looks on the timeline is we record the VO. I'll walk you through behind the scenes of GFR. Okay, we have a little like cloth sound booth, and so I'll go in there and we have our little microphone, and then we record all of the audio on a Zoom audio device so that he can shut off his computer and that noise isn't interfering at all. But we might just start doing it right directly into the interface. So we record the audio, we do it sort of by section, we import the audio into Premiere, and then all of the audio comes in and it's all green. Okay, so as we go through cutting the audio, section 1, Matt will label once it's cut down, or not even when it's cut down, we'll go like in between takes. We usually like record them by section, so he'll label them different colors. Okay, so it's like cerulean, lavender, fucking whatever, the other ones, that sort of thing. Now, loop deck, instead of right clicking, going to label, going to cerulean, he just goes, isn't that amazing? And he busted out the Wacom, so he's using the pen and the Wacom now, because we got a Wacom a long time ago. Hi, Gengi. And yeah, I spent so much time on Reddit perusing, editing posts. I just heard the toilet flush, to find the right device. Matthew, I'm telling everyone about your loop deck. Come here. I'm telling everyone about your loop deck.
Oh yeah.
Do you want to tell them about it?
Sure, I guess.
Yeah, tell them.
Shelby got me a birthday present. I opened it early because I was yelling at my computer because I've been having computer problems. And so she let me open my present early, and it's a loop deck. And I customized it, and now I can pretty much edit without a keyboard even. It's pretty good.
I told them about the crop and how excited you were about that.
Yeah, it's multiple things, like just, I don't have to go and search for an effect and then put it onto the thing, put it onto the clip or whatever. I just have dials, and once I start touching the dial, it just automatically adds the effect and starts doing whatever I program the dial to do. It's nice.
He likes it.
I like it a lot.
About the labels.
Yeah, that's okay. It's fun, but that's not like the real lifesaver, because labeling doesn't take that long. I do it once. You know? It's the things that's every second that I'm doing.
Like what? Tell us more. I need to gush about the present that I got you.
Like keyframes. I can just automatically create keyframes and use the dials to move them and go to the next keyframe, and I have to do stuff. Expanding and collapsing the video and audio tracks, zooming in and out of the timeline, zooming in and out of the program monitor, switching workspaces. It's really nice, you know. I'm using my Wacom tablet in conjunction with it, so it's like, I've talked about it before, about just like reducing clicks and stuff. This reduces more than just clicks. It's like I don't have to move my mouse onto a different part of the screen. I can keep my mouse over the work area I'm in, while my left hand, and it's my pen, I mean by mouse I mean cursor, and then my left hand is like doing all the menu navigation without having to actually navigate any menus. See what I'm saying? So I keep my mouse right above what I'm working on. It's nice. There you go.
Yay! And everyone just wants to know how old you're turning and when your birthday is and how nice you are.
I think I'm turning 37.
He said he thinks he's turning 37.
Yeah.
Yeah. Genki's birthday is on Saturday and he's turning 35.
Oh my god.
You guys are so old.
Yeah. But this video is going up today. Okay. Video's going up today. It's almost done. I'll tell you guys all about it. It's been a really rough couple weeks. It's been a rough couple
I've been telling them a little bit, but, you know, there's only so much that I can fathom.
Yeah. You know.
It has been a rough couple weeks.
I've been having computer problems. Adobe problems.
Dad boy problems.
And it got to a point where I was like, I literally, like, okay, she's moving it back to me now. It got to a point where I was like, oh, Daphne yelling. I just decided, I was like, I can't edit another video with it acting like this, you know? It just made everything take 3 times as long. And I think it's just been too long since I've done any like computer maintenance or anything, and it just got out of hand. So I like reinstalled Windows and all this stuff, and reinstalled all my Adobe and all my plugins and things, and then was just trying to make it better. But now with like the Loop Deck and the Wacom tablet, that was another way to make it better. But there's been a bit of a learning curve and setup to it. So hopefully in the long run it makes things take less time and make them less frustrating and more fun. But yeah, I was having all kinds of issues, dude. And I still think I'm having issues. I don't think that my GPU is like working properly. Excuse me.
He's gonna cry.
I'm supposed to be getting in the PCIe slot 1. I'm supposed to be getting 16x16 bandwidth or whatever. I'm not. I can't make it jump into that level of bandwidth. And I know that's like it's not reserved, but you know, it's mostly used for like really intensive like computing tasks. But still, something better than ×4. Like even if it jumped up into like ×8 or something. And then there's like lots of things that I do in Premiere that like have a red render line that shouldn't, you know. And so and I've always kind of known that for like a while now, but I just didn't want to dive into it all. So that's what I've been doing, is being like, why why is it like this? And basically, I've discovered something's wrong. I don't know what's wrong. I tried to solve it, couldn't solve it. It's really frustrating. I think that the computer's like 2 or 3 years old now, and I just think that the GPU may have just. I mean, it was sagging. I'm assuming it may have bent the PCIe slot, and so the GPU is just not working properly. And so I think that may be the issue. I've narrowed it down to like maybe just that. But I upgraded my Adobe to like business, so I have 24/7 Adobe support. So after this video, like tomorrow or today, I'm going to just do a support thing with Adobe and just be like, look at it, fix it. Because like, I'm talking about just like adding a drop shadow, like the simplest, easiest thing that I've been doing since like the early 2000s. And it's making me have to render it. And it's like, there's no reason why I should be having to like struggle. And I render everything anyway, just because I like to have the preview files and it makes exporting faster. But normally when I'm working on an effect like that, especially something simple like drop shadow, it plays back in real time and I can edit it on the fly. But at this point, it's like I'm having to render after every little change that I make. And it takes forever to add something so simple, And so it's like, it's not fun.
Yeah.
It's not creative. It doesn't feel creative when I'm like, well, I want to do this cool thing, but it's going to take forever because my computer's going to lose its shit. So yeah, it's been a real rough time. Editing's hard enough as it is. And yeah, it got to a point where I was just like, I can't do this anymore. I have to fix it. And yeah, so sorry everybody. And we don't have like IT. I'm not the best computer guy, And let me tell you the most frustrating thing about the problem.
Tell us.
And then I'm going to go because I got to finish this video. The most frustrating thing about a lot of the problems I've been having is that there is a problem. I'm looking at it. It says there's a problem. But then when I go to do like troubleshooting or read an article or use AI and explain things, they're like, there's no problem. It's working as it should. And it's like, it's literally not though. Like so often that's what's happening. And so there was one period where I thought like maybe I had some kind of virus or something, or
You did find.
Yeah, I found some weird shit on my computer. I don't know how it got there exactly. Shelby can tell you, I'm super vigilant about that. And I don't know. And I found some weird stuff on my computer. But I don't know what it was doing or whatever, if it was doing anything. But yeah, I thought for a second maybe there was like a hidden app that was like, I don't know.
You got your viruses from pornography.
No, that wouldn't be. Because, I mean, yeah. That computer in there, that's a work computer, people. Okay? That's a work computer.
Did Shelby's mom click something?
I was wondering, actually, if her mom ever brought her laptop here and logged into our network.
Phone, though.
So the whole thing's been like a wild goose chase. It doesn't help that I upgraded to Windows 11, which I really, really like. But I do think that caused a lot of problems.
So you did do a fresh install of Windows.
Yeah, I did a fresh install of Windows, and that took time because I had to download all my plugins and all my things, and all my... Just like it takes a freaking day to do it, and I know there's like something that will like do it for you, like a program that you can like, I don't know, make a script and it installs all this stuff for you, but I didn't do that. Anyway, so yeah, I was just saying there was like that point I thought maybe there was like a hidden program on my computer that was like utilizing my GPU without my knowledge, so I didn't have full access to it or something. But I just don't know. I have no clue. It's probably just the PCIe slot or something.
So GPU Z says it's running at 4 times?
Yeah, at times 4. But it says that it's times 16 compatible. And then even in my BIOS, I do not have an option to like even manually select times 16. And I have nothing else in any other PCIe slots, right? I have my M.2 NVMe SSDs, but those should be using the chipset, not the CPU. So I don't really know.
Yeah.
Like the PCIe slot 1 is dedicated to your your dedicated graphics card.
Did he update motherboard BIOS?
Yes, I updated it. I've done everything. I've done it all.
I can tell he's really dug into this.
Oh yeah, I've dug into it, dude. I was just trying to fix it, and it's like a goose chase, man. It's just like one thing leads to the next, and you find other things that are just like wrong, and you're just like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna do another fresh install, another one. I'm gonna completely factory reset my BIOS and just start from complete scratch, because I think maybe like the motherboard had like, you know, preset configurations and stuff like from Zydax, and but that was like years ago now, so it's like that stuff would be out of date probably, and maybe it's messing with me or something.
I feel like it was a lot of little tiny things along the way, and then upgrading to Windows 11 just like.
Yeah, oh, it did. Yeah, that was definitely a huge part of the problem, was upgrading to Windows 11 without just doing a fresh install of Windows 11. And I did resolve some of those issues. I mean, there was a lot of things going on. It wasn't just the things I've listed. I could tell you all day about the issues my computer was having. But yeah. Then there was another thing. I need to go finish this video now. But there was another thing, like, dude, Shelby can tell you, I've been getting so mad. I can't believe how like some of these things operate. Okay, I'm like seriously, I'm like very close. You can't see me, but I'm doing this with my fingers. I'm this close to just like making a video, just like getting on camera. It has nothing to do with girlfriend reviews. Just getting on camera and just like losing my mind at like Adobe and Microsoft, and just being like, what the hell? Yeah, I want to create like I want to start like the editors' rights movement, because I don't think people care about I know they don't care about editors, you know, but it's not just editors. It's also just the way like Microsoft Office works and stuff. But like OneDrive, OneDrive, unbelievable. This OneDrive, dude. I am so confused, and this is one of the reasons why I thought maybe I had a virus or someone had logged into my account or something. It's just OneDrive is a virus, though. It's just a virus, I think. Like, I always get rid of it. I don't want you to put things in my OneDrive folder. Don't do that. Don't do it. Well, like, Adobe, like, has so many places on your computer that it puts things. It's incredibly frustrating. And one of those places is OneDrive. They never give you the option to not have it go to OneDrive, right? Now, I didn't have OneDrive on my computer. I don't have it installed. I always uninstall it. I do not sync my files to OneDrive. Well, at some point, something, somewhere along the line, without my input or approval, like, enabled OneDrive. And even though I don't have, like, I'm telling you, this is a fact. Even though I didn't have OneDrive installed, I could not physically open a OneDrive application. There's no OneDrive icon in the taskbar. I do not see anything that's telling me that I'm currently syncing files to OneDrive. Well, little did I know that for some like length of time, it was doing that anyway. So even if you think that you've uninstalled OneDrive and it's not syncing, it may be, just so you know. And I just didn't think that was happening. The only thing is I would use Microsoft Word and allow that to, like, I guess use OneDrive, but not like on my computer. I wasn't really sure how it worked, so that I could open up my scripts on my phone, because, you know, I like to write on the go or pace around the house and look at it or whatever, or walk to another room and read it to Shelby and stuff. But again, I don't have OneDrive on the computer. I didn't think that, or allow it to sync anything else. Little did I know it was syncing a lot of things, including like random, all kinds of applications, temporary files, including like game saves, all kinds of stuff. And I would never, ever, I would rather, like, you know, stick my fingers in my eyes than ever have my game saves on OneDrive or in a OneDrive folder. Just all kinds of things, though. Then so when I discovered this, because I was having some kind of issues, I got led, I think, by Adobe to OneDrive, and I was like, what is all this stuff in here? I was like, this shit, like the last time I looked at this, it was just like GFR scripts. Like that was like the one singular item in this like folder on my computer. And I did have a folder on my computer, but I'm saying I didn't have the app installed. So I didn't think, I don't know how it was working exactly, but whatever. It was so full of stuff. And I was like, what? I logged into my Microsoft account. I go to my OneDrive storage, see that it has so much, way more than like 100 Word documents would take up space. So much in there, including I find my private photos from my phone in my OneDrive. I have never, ever installed OneDrive on my phone. Okay. Definitely not giving it permission to upload my photos to OneDrive. I don't know what the heck. I don't know how in the world. And I looked at my phone and I went and I found it. I found OneDrive on my phone. I was looking through, I don't know what menu or whatever, just trying to figure out what the heck happened here. I saw that at like 3:40 a.m. one day in the morning, OneDrive was installed. So I'm not even awake. Yeah. I was not aware that it was installed. And what, it logs me in and then it starts uploading things without my permission? Crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I can't get away from this OneDrive. And I that's what I'm saying is like, this is like a lawsuit waiting to happen. Like, I mean, how dare? I can't believe that they would do that. You know, I found just like, it's just like all my photos. And I'm like, what the?
Everyone in chat is agreeing with you that OneDrive is the worst and they hate it. And so you're not alone.
But I just like it's one thing to like, okay, I downloaded Office and I synced my Word to OneDrive, so it in the background was like still running OneDrive, and then things got confused because Microsoft or Word made a OneDrive folder that I guess is syncing somehow. I thought that Word was just uploading it itself. I don't know if that folder was sync. I mean, it was.
Someone says Samsung uses OneDrive as its default cloud storage, cloud photo.
But I don't use any cloud storage like on my phone. I've never done that. I don't want to do that on my phone, you know? The only thing is, I think it's through Google. So not even related to Microsoft or Samsung. I think through Google, the only cloud thing I do is I like back up what apps and stuff I've downloaded so that when I get a new phone, I can just get them all. But it's not my photos or anything like that. So I don't know if I have no clue, dude.
It's been a nightmare.
That's my rant. I gotta go now. Finish this video. But you know, with my new Loop Deck and my Wacom tablet, editing is fun again. You know, because I love editing. I just don't like navigating the menus and having it just be so bad. And the last thing I'm gonna say, I'm gonna end it with this. Okay.
Yeah, give it to us.
I'm gonna end it with this. Adobe, listen to me, because I'm about to make a video, dude. I'm about to do girlfriend of you slams Adobe, one of those, dude. Listen to me, okay? There's a number of issues, okay? There's a number of issues. Clearly, the people who make this software, and it is an incredible piece of software. It's honestly a miracle that I can even do what I do in my house with this. So respect, but at the same time, it's clear that whoever's making this is not an editor day by day dealing with this program. And all you need to know to see that is go to the forums. I mean, it's like, you know, there's a reason why editors are curmudgeons in the dark, you know. But the one thing, and this is kind of a small thing, not really though, Adobe, if you could please figure out what's going on with your search bar, okay? Because sometimes I just want to filter my footage by keywords, you know, like, because I label all my footage very well, and I just want to type in, like, you know, death, and that'll show me all the clips that we have or where there was a death in the game, all right? Something like that. Well, I would say like 80% of the time that I go to do this, I move my mouse over there. And by the way, there's no shortcut to just automatically start filtering. And if someone knows of one, let me know. I'm not talking about search bins. I'm not talking about creating a new search bin. I don't always want to create a new search bin. Okay. All right. I just want to filter. All right. 80% of the time I go over there, move my mouse all the way there because there's no shortcut. I click it. Okay? I start typing, and the first or second letter, after the first or second letter, it just presses enter, basically.
It does that on mine too.
And it it's a known thing. It's been going on for years and years and years, and it just starts searching for, like, I'll type in, say, again, death or whatever. I'll type in DE, and then it goes gray, and I can't type anymore, and it filters DE. And I have to take my mouse again, take my hand off the keyboard, go back to my mouse, click the search bar, and then finish typing the thing. And it's gotten to the point where I only, on Adobe, type with one hand now, because I need to have my hand on my mouse with the cursor in the search bar ready to click it for when it does that. It drives me nuts. And it sounds like a small thing, but when you do it literally 100 times a day, if not 100 times every couple hours, like, oh my God, it's like, it ruins it, you know? And I tried to fix it. I can't fix it. You know, oh my God, dude. It's so, imagine if every time you went to your URL, like, to search something, or you went to Google to search something, it, like, searched the first two letters, and then you had to type in the rest of what you were doing.
That would be really frustrating.
Dude, yeah, it's the worst. And I looked it up, and it's a known problem. And this has happened to me on multiple computers, like computers that weren't mine, like work computers, unrelated to my home computers, Adobe accounts that weren't related to my Adobe accounts, like new installs, reset preferences, all the things. And it just, as always, it's never not happened to me. So I don't know what the deal is.
Yeah.
I hate it.
I'm sorry.
That's not what I wanted to end my rant with.
The search bar.
I've made a lot of things better, but that one little tiny thing, if I could just fix that, if every time I needed to search something, because I don't want to search things now.
Right.
You know, it's not conducive to creative mindset to be like, well, I really want to go type this in and search something, but oh, do I hate that search bar? You know, it's like, please fix it. I'm begging.
What was the video where the, oh my God, clip kept getting put in? That sounds so familiar.
I think it was Resident Evil 4 or something. Remake.
Don't remember.
I don't remember. Maybe it was that one. But are you talking about? No, that was like more for like traps on the ground. If you're talking about something that was like annoying in a game, then I don't remember. But I do kind of.
It was the same audio of you going, oh my God.
It was like some kind of annoying
maybe Resident Evil 4
game thing. Well, no, that was, yeah.
stepping on.
Yeah,
stuff.
I think that was, oh God damn it. I don't remember. Oh my God was related to like a annoying menu or something like that. But anyway.
Is that all?
Yeah.
Should I take the mic back?
Yeah.
Want to say anything to? Oh, it's going.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's okay.
Anyway, there we go. That search bar thing had nothing to do with my computer problems, though. That's just been
No,
going
I
on
know.
for years.
I know.
The other issues were like more major. Like something's actually wrong. And it sucks when you bend your PCIe slot, because that means I need to get a new motherboard, which means I have to like basically rebuild the computer. I have to unplug everything. And I don't want to. I don't want to at all. Oh, man.
Yeah. Will you do me a favor? Will you close that little window there?
Yeah.
Because that car horn. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It was just that one up top.
Okay, bye, everyone. I'm going to finish the video. It's almost done. Here you go.
It is
Bye.
almost done.
Rant over.
Thank you, Matt. We love you. Anyway, so yes, I have heard all of that before. I just wanted him to be able to tell you, because I don't know. I can't tell you. I don't know what I'm saying. So I'm sure that was therapeutic for him, but also don't you worry, because he has also gotten all of that off of his chest to me. So he has plenty of therapeutic opportunities to express himself. Okay? Yes. Well, listen, we have a maintenance guy coming between noon and 5. So I don't know if he's gonna come right at noon, but it's gonna be, I want to be available for that. Hey! Yeah, what a range. What a range. Potatoes here. So I don't know. What's on the menu today? I don't know. I was sort of maybe planning on playing something, but I don't know. I have like an hour, 15 minutes before the window arrives. So, hey, Tatey. Hey, Tatey Potato. Hey. Oh, my neck. Come here. I don't want to run you over. He's right behind me. Come here. Me, Poto. Come here. Hi. Come here. We love you. We love you. Me. Dude, my camera cannot focus today. Oh, here he is. He's here. That's a good poll. All right, there's a poll in the chat. When is the maintenance man coming? Are you into exercise/fitness? In theory, yes, but I have a requirement, and the requirement is that it cannot feel like exercise. It has to be fun. It has to be like not like I don't like to do reps. You know? I don't want to do 10 times. Like, even yoga is pushing that for me a little bit. Where it's just like, okay. So dance. Dance, I love. Beat Saber, I love. I am an old man. I've heard good things of pickleball. Also, don't tell me what to do. Amen. Amen. Don't tell me what to do. Of course I've played Just Dance. I think, honestly, I might be able to do Just Dance Cotton Eye Joe. On a whim. That's my back pocket dance. If it hadn't been for Cotton Eye Joe, I've been married a long time ago. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? It's very fun. It's very, very fun. Honestly, the best platform for Just Dance is the Xbox Connect. I'm sorry to say it. No remote, no controller. Absolutely. Also, what else am I good at in Just Dance? I don't know. I guess, I don't know. I'm trying to make thoughts in my brain, but it's hard. It's hard to make thoughts in my brain. No remote, just vibes. It's only vibes. I put that there. Yeah. Yeah. And I like, oopsie. Oh yeah, Rasputin. But I can't do that, that all the way down to the floor part. Maybe I could, but I choose not to. I skip it. I cheat it. And see, this is why. This is the positive part of having the remote, because you can fake it. You can fake it. And they don't know. They're none the wiser. They're none the wiser. I did ask the DJ at our wedding to please play that song, and he did eventually. And I was summoned from across the venue. I went, I heard bada bum bum bada bada badum bada bum bum. I went, and my freaking cousin, my cousin Dan, did the freaking thing. The hey, all the way down and up. And I was so amazed. Dan, the absolute man. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yep. That whole family, they're all theater kids. And then there's also me. It's funny. That's my Montana side. My mom's Montana family. And I'm the only brunette in the family of anyone. Anyone from Montana, I'm the only brunette. That is from my swarthy Jewish father. But so there's like Montana, as far as like Montana family umbrella goes, there's Ranch Montana family, which is from one family. And then there's Theater Kid homeschooled other part of Montana family, Billings, Montana, which is like more of a city. And then there's me. There's me and my mom. So I'll tell you, I'm gonna draw for you a family tree. Okay, I'm gonna draw for you a family tree. So there's my grandma, grandpa. Okay, my grandma and grandpa. They have 3 kids. My mom, her sister, her brother. My mom, she was never cut out for that ranch life, okay? Born and raised on a ranch in Montana. Never felt good about it. Didn't like it. Didn't like all the stuff that you have to do. It's rough out there. It's not nice. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. But damn, like keeping livestock, especially for like, cuz they're raised for beef. It's not nice. Like branding isn't nice. Castrating isn't nice. You know, it's just, there's a lot of like really rough stuff. And I've heard stories from throughout her childhood of like times when all of their dogs died because they had a lot of dogs. You all have a lot of dogs on a ranch. They're helper dogs. They have jobs. All of their dogs died at once because somebody put out like poison baits for I don't know what, like a bear or something. And the dogs ate it and they all frickin' died. And it was, and you know, it's just like stuff like that. That's like ranch stuff. That's ranch stuff. But my mom was always the animal lover, and you know, out there it's a very common phrase, and I'm sure in many parts of the country, cowboy up. Maybe you've heard cowboy up. You gotta pick yourself up by your bootstraps and cowboy up. So there's no crying. There's no feeling sad or bad for the cows. You know? It's not, whatever. And my mom has a memory, you know, it's just different. It's just different. And obviously, like, we are animal lovers here. And you guys are animal lovers because you're here. And I have a cat on my lap. And I would literally do anything for this cat. And this cat, Potato, has had numerous instances of urinary blockages. He's on a special diet now for keeping the crystals out of his thing. It's a very common problem, especially in male cats. They get blocked, so you got to make sure. He's had a couple instances of urinary blockages. It costs like $3,000 every time to fix it, but it's extremely dangerous when they can't pee anymore. Anyways, out of the ranch, and I'm sure that there are, it's not like I guess it is kind of, they're bladder stones. They're crystals in their bladder. And it's very common, again, in boy cats. You got to make sure that they have lots of water, because all cats are chronically dehydrated. It's just a thing. They just are. So give them wet food. Make sure that if you can make their water more appealing by like putting around fountains, they like to drink running water. But anyways, it will kill them. It will kill them because if they get blocked up and the crystals, if they get so many crystals that they can't pee, I mean, when you think about it, when when we eliminate waste from our body, we're eliminating toxic stuff that our body doesn't want. And when you keep it inside of you, not only is that like poisoning you, but also imagine your bladder ruptures and then you get all of that stuff inside your body, you know? Anyways, so just imagine that. I'm sure that there are ranches and cowboys that love little kitty cats and trigger warning for this story. Trigger warning. But they had a cat, and it was my mom's cat or something, and she was young. Not young, but she was whatever, living at home. And the cat got blocked up, and it's excruciatingly painful for them. It's awful. It's awful. And it's just a cat. It's just a dumb cat. And in their mind, it's just a cat. Like, oh, it's just a bug. It's just a whatever. It's just a rat. My mom was like begging to take him to the vet, which is far away. Or call the vet. Far away. They live in the middle of nowhere. Just didn't. And that cat I eventually passed away just in excruciating pain. Just never got help. And like that was the kind of stuff that my mom grew up around, and she hated it. And she's still to this day afraid of the dark. It's so dark out there. It's very dark. And maybe some of you live in the middle of nowhere and you can relate. It's really dark. I mean, the sky is beautiful at night because you can see all the stars, but it's scary a little bit. So like she had this dog, and dogs aren't allowed in the house on the ranch. They sleep in the garage or the mud room. And that my mom had this dog. Her name was Georgie Girl. She was like a shepherd mix or something. Some kind of herder. And Georgie Girl was my mom's best friend as a kid. And when my mom was scared, she would go out into the garage and lay with Georgie Girl, or she would take Georgie Girl and they would go sleep in the camper. And that felt safer to my mom as a child than going to her parents. She would say like if she went to her parents with a bad dream, they would get mad at her. I don't have a story about a tragic death for Georgie Girl. I think she just passed from old age eventually, or just from the life expectancy is much lower out there because of variables, as I've mentioned, but it's possible she was one of the dogs in the poisoning. I don't remember. I don't exactly remember. But yeah, there are just like all sorts of stories like that. And I've been out there. I used to go out a lot as a child. I mean, it was, I remember being like weirded out by many things. Like, it was just very different for me as a child. I started this by trying to paint you a picture of my family tree, and then I got distracted. But, being a kid from the city, from LA, I born and raised in LA, and like going during like branding season, it's a strange experience. I mean, I got used to it pretty quickly, but man, yeah. Oh, I hope your mother has been able to form empathetic relationships with animals in her adulthood, and that the animals have had happy lives. Dude, my mom, I mean, it's my mom. I was raised by two huge animal lovers. But my mom, I think I've shared before that my mom's cat right now, she basically stole him because the people that had him and his brother, and the brother is still with them. But this one, his name is Shifu, after Master Shifu from Kung Fu Panda. My mom did not name him, a kid did, but she kept the name. Anyways, Shifu would come visit my mom. My mom lives in Ojai, and she was kind of like a little bit in nature at her old place where she met Shifu. And he would come down from those people's house, and he would just like walk into her place, and eventually, but at first, because it's my mom, she was, hi, she loves cats. She's always loved cats and dogs, all animals my mom loves, except for like, I don't know, she's terrified of the ocean, so that's the only thing I can think of is like, she's just not that interested in like bugs or like fish, but she let me have fish, and she's always been a huge animal lover. I mean, she has stories from when she was a child, and this is like a cute story of animal stuff on the ranch, is like when she was a kid, she found a kitten. She would find kittens all the time out on the ranch because cats be stupping and kittens and stuff. And she tells a story about how she brought home a kitten, basically, but her dad had said, don't do that anymore. No more kittens. We're not allowed to have any more kittens. And so you can't pick up any kittens and bring them home. And so in her child brain, she was like, okay, I won't. And he watched her out the window come all the way across the field going, pss, 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 come here, come on. And that kitten followed her all the way home. And I think even though like my grandpa, her dad, was a rough, tough cowboy and, you know, didn't call the vet for that one cat, I think he also was an animal lover in a cowboy type way, or in like a grumpy old man type way where it's, you know, like, no, I don't want that cat. And then the cat is sleeping on the chest, you know, one of those things. So she obviously could keep the kitten, you know, one of those. So that's my mom. And this cat, Shifu, that she has, he has a lot of hot spots on his belly when he comes and visits, and fleas and stuff, and she's feeding him and his brother. His brother is a black cat. And I mean, Shifu's very cute. I'm sure I can find a picture. I'm sure I can show you a picture of Shifu. He kind of looks like Shifu from Kung Fu Panda. Let me see. Oops. Anyways, eventually Shifu starts spending more and more time at my mom's place, and his owners, she finds out, got him and his brother for pest control to be like mousers, which I think is just so stupid. And they are not allowed inside the house because somebody in the house is allergic to cats. So obviously that doesn't fly for my mom. And she's letting him in, and he's sleeping on her stuff, and both of them. She's letting both of them in, but Jet, his brother, is not as interested. And also Shifu, like a lot of pet rescues won't adopt siblings together because there's some weirdness that can happen. So Shifu didn't like his brother around, and he would get mad and stuff. Eventually, oh, here he is in a drawer. This is Shifu. Can you see him? There he is. Eventually, he's there most of the time, and they're like texting my mom, and they're like, hey, have you seen him? She's like, yeah, he's here. And you know, she's talking to them. He's a very big boy. She's talking to them about his hot spots, and she starts taking him to the vet and taking care of him and paying for his stuff. And eventually they're like, he's your cat. We know that. That's fine. And when she moved, she took him with her. But eventually she found out he has diabetes, and so does his brother. So she gives him insulin shots twice a day, every day. She, as a child, I was raised by my mom and my dad, who are both animal lovers. And so all the time at my mom's house, we were finding squirrels that had been hit by a bike or a bird and whatever, and taking care of them and taking them into the shelter and that sort of thing. So it was just very normal for us. So that's to assure you that my mom left Montana for a reason and has always had very much, so much love for animals, and loves cats and loves dogs. And she was a great sport with my bird Chachki, even though he was a real asshole to her sometimes because she wasn't me. He would like chase her around on the floor and try to bite her toes sometimes. Anyways, that's that. So that is to assure you that don't worry. I don't mean incest, sorry. I mean like territorialness, but there can be incest between cat siblings. That's super normal in the animal world. I just mean, they can be oddly territorial with their siblings for some reason. So yeah, my mom still has Shifu. He's diabetic. She is completely devoted to him. And we have always, it's funny, like we have a joke, my mom and I, that like these animals that we've always had animals with like major health issues, like the most expensive health problems. We had a cat that we adopted. His name was Calvin. I just saw a picture of him that I sent to my mom. And Calvin was great. He was just, he was allergic to his own saliva. Okay. So that was a lifelong, and he didn't have a super long life because of that, but he was a good boy. There's a little brown tabby. That's Calvin. It's funny that you mentioned that you picture animals with a bunch of eye patches and 3 legs. The cat I actually grew up with. I'm looking to see. I'm sure I have a actually, I might have a picture right here. Potato, I'm sorry. Potato, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Potato. I'm sorry, Potato, I'm moving you. I have a picture. Let's see. Do I have a picture, Potato? No, I don't. I'm sorry. Don't go. I love you. Don't go. The cat that my mom had when I was a baby, when I was born. She had him before I was born. His name was Bailey, and he was an orange tabby, and he was an absolute jerk, but also we loved him. That man was such trouble. He was an outdoor cat, indoor-outdoor. My mom has always had indoor-outdoor cats, and I give her such a hard time for it. I'm like, Also, Shifu pisses all over her place. Just all over all of her stuff, and she tries her best. I gave her one of those Bissell carpet cleaners to help. She still loves the heck out of that cat, and I know that a lot of people would rehome a cat like that, She would never. Anyways, Bailey lived to be 21 years old. Okay, which is crazy, first of all. He also was hit by a car twice. Broke his hip. Recovered. Fine. He got a tumor in his ear. The vets removed the tumor. It grew back, and they removed the ear. And so Bailey was a 1-eared cat. He was a badass. He would get in fights with other cats, and one time he came home from being outside all day, and he was covered in shit. Just covered in shit. And I think what had happened was he got in a fight with another cat and it shit all over him. He was very resilient. He was like indestructible. And then we had our dog Savannah, which it took me a long time to convince my mom that I could take care of a dog. And then I didn't. You know, if you're PSA, your kid's not going to take care of it. You have to take care of it. But we got to Bubba. Okay, this is my old girl. That's my old flubber muffin. That's her. That's Savannah. Okay. She lived to be 15. That's pretty good. That's my old lady. Okay. So she lived to be 15. And she was a good girl, but because she was 15, I mean, even when she wasn't old, she had tons of skin issues just all the time. Just always had awful like yeast infections, just that sort of thing. She was so sweet. She was so sweet. She was very like motherly, you know. And that's the dog for those of you in cinema movie club. That's the dog that we would say, that dog's smiling at me after because of Winn-Dixie. Here's another picture of Shifu. There's Shifu. Okay. And I'm looking for more pictures of Savannah. But it seems like all the pictures I have of her when she's old. But I guess that makes sense because of the age of my phone. Ooh, I will show you. It was really cute because when I met Matt, we still had Savannah, but she was really old and crispy and, damn, your name is Savannah and you're 15 and you have skin issues. Can I tell you also, your name is Savannah spelled the same way that I spelled Savannah. I didn't spell it Savannah. I spelled it Savana. That's, what are the odds? What are the odds? And it's only because I was a child I didn't know how to spell. Wow. But I named her, she's also a dog. I named her Savannah because I had done a report on cheetahs. And I thought that she was the same, it's the same color as an African savanna. So, you know. And she was. She's a good girl. She's a good girl. She was so stinky. She was really stinky. So, Luna, thank you for subscribing. Okay. And then here's a picture of me giving her a bath. Isn't that nice? Oh, it's very blurry. I'm working on it. I'm trying my best. It's struggling. Listen, it's hard. It's hard to get the camera to recognize what is on my phone. Anyways, that's that. There's me bathing the dog. Yep. Okay, now get ready for this. You guys are going to freak out. Look at this. That's Joey. Joey. Little tiny guy. Little tiny man. Oh. So good. Okay, wait. There's more. You're gonna freak. Tato. And me, baby. Me a baby. No makeup, pimple on my forehead. Tiny Tato. Look at that. Little baby Tato. So little. Oh, look, here, I can show you this. This is a video of my mom and Savannah when she was old. Hold on, it's coming. It's coming. Plupper. Plupper, flupper. And then this is one at the, we took Booker and Savannah, I think, to the DOGPARK. Look at her go! Wee! Old. Old. Yep. So those are those. Okay. Those are those. They do little stiff hops and runs. And it's funny because Savannah was always kind of like bossy with other dogs. She was always kind of bossy. And so in her old age, it was just funny to see her try to be bossy, but she was just so old and slow. Matt always says that Booker is not named after Booker DeWitt, but like sort of inspired. I don't know. Follow me around. Dude, this man today would not leave me alone. Just following me all over town. I don't know what his deal is. I don't know what the deal is. But yeah. We got critters. We got little critters in our house. Always. And so the moral of the story is, no, the ranch stuff did not ruin my mom's relationship with animals. It made it better. Aw. Yeah. It's hard. Honestly, in all honesty, the Bailey was not nice to me as a baby, but also I was a baby and I was not nice to him. So it's not easy to have a cat and a baby around each other. There are two creatures that are not very understanding. So I get it. Yeah. So we've always had animals. I've never not had animals. Bailey was there when I was born. And then eventually we got Savannah. And then we got Calvin. And then I got Chachki, my bird. And then I moved out. And then I got Joey and Potato. So yeah. Just always had him. I don't think I could, though. I don't think I could do it. Even if, like, I had a baby and Joey was, like, attacking, I would call Jackson Galaxy. I would keep them separate. I would do anything I could just to not have to rehome, you know? So, I don't know. How old were you when you got the kitties? Let's see. I was 17 when I went to college. And then I came back and I was 18. So I guess I was 18, maybe 19 when I got Joey. I think I was 18 when I got Joey. And then a year later I got Potato. And so it was me in my apartment with Chachki, my bird, and Joey and Potato. And a fish. I eventually got a fish too. I got a betta fish named Fishy Swaz. I always had fish at my dad's house. I had a lizard. I had hermit crabs. And we had a bird. And then we had a cat at my dad's house too, Emma. Yeah. I did have goldfish for a while. I had like 3 goldfish in a 30-gallon fish tank at my mom's for a while. Which isn't big enough, just so you know. Goldfish are nasty, disgusting. So they need a lot of tank space because they piss and shit. They don't piss. They just shit all the time. They're just constantly shitting. So they need a big tank. And their names were like Bottle, Cup, and Lotion. I think, were my goldfish. And Emma, my cat Emma, at my dad's house, we got Emma when she was a kitten. And I remember we like went to go pick out such a my dad thing, you know. My mom was so like I got to pick everything and whatever, and my dad was just like, no, I want this one. You know? So we went to go get a kitten, and we were looking at all the kittens in the cage, and I was looking at like a little black kitten or something. And I mean, I get it. It's funny. It's fine to just like, kids need to learn that they can't always have everything they want. But I guess when you're getting a kitten, maybe you consider which one the kid likes. Anyways, I was looking at this little black kitten in the big cage of all the kittens, and it was so cute. And I was looking at it, and I was like, ee, look at this one. And my dad was like, look at this one. And it was Emma on the side of the cage like this, freaking like dangling on the side of the cage, being a menace. He was like, let's get this one. This one, look at the personality. And she was listen, I say that Joey is a little like neurospicy. Emma was on another level. Like, just very sensitive, got extremely overstimulated, and I feel bad like, honestly, I have such guilt over like my treatment as a child of Emma, but I was a child. She was not in the right home for her. She needed like somebody to leave her alone and to just let her do her thing, even as a little kitten, you know? But yeah, I treated her sort of like you would treat a like potato, you know, just like grabbing and picking up and carrying around. And I was just like covered in cat scratches just because I would like play with her. And the way that I would play with her as a child was just by like aggravating her and until she would attack me. You know, don't do that. It's not nice for them. I didn't know. I thought it was funny. I was a child. I couldn't have known. And I don't think my dad knew either, really, you know. I don't think he really knew. He had a cat. He had cats growing up and dogs, all sorts of dogs and stuff, but, you know, it was a different time. And like most people, I think, just weren't as understanding. Yeah, I did swallow. I didn't swallow. I spit it out. I didn't swallow any fish tank water, okay? I'm a quitter and a spitter of fish tank water. Okay, I didn't ingest it. Anyways. I know there's a clip. I didn't swallow it. I went, Pah! I went, Pah! If my memory serves, maybe I swallowed it. I don't know. It's possible. It's possible I swallowed it. It's possible. Listen. I am lucky that I am not more famous. If I were Pokimane and I had done that, there's not a single person that wouldn't have seen that. So, I count my lucky stars every day that I am just a little famous. Just this much. Yep. That's true. Anyone that has siphoned a fish tank has been there. You know, you don't think it's going to happen to you. You're like, I won't do that. And then it happens. Okay. I know. I know I was using the pump wrong. I know that I can do this and do some of this. But the pump part broke. So the pump doesn't work anymore. So I have to just use it as a tube. Okay? But I was thinking about doing another fish tank stream. Because I want to aquascape the fish tank. But I'm afraid of doing something embarrassing again. You know? Honestly, because I have an open top fish tank, I rarely need to siphon it anymore. It evaporates. The water evaporates so much. So like once a week, every few days to once a week, I top off the fish tank, and that kind of counts as a water change. The water parameters are all really good. But yeah. Ugh. I took Booker to Petco the other day after I took him to the vet because I wanted to get him some treats and stuff. And, no, I know. That's what I was saying, is that I could do this. I'm not putting my mouth on the tube if I do another fish tank stream. It's not happening. I'm gonna do gravity siphon, okay? Anyways, I took Booker. I like to look at the betta fish. And I don't know why I do, because it's not nice. It's not nice that they're in cups. It's not nice for them. It's not good. Listen, PSA. If you see somebody with a fucking betta fish in a vase, in a vase with a fucking plant in it, you have my permission to steal it, to take it and run. Okay? Because it's not nice for them. They don't like it. Okay? And you know what it is? Because in their native environment of Vietnam, they inhabit rice fields. Okay? Which is water. It's a shallow water place. Okay? And there are like little pockets that they will live in, little pockets of space and since bettas are extremely territorial, they will just kind of like keep to themselves, but they can leave and they can go and hunt, that sort of thing. And then also people think that they're fine because sometimes during a dry season, the water will evaporate and then they'll be in just like a little puddle. You know? Yeah, sure. Can they survive? Yeah. Will they thrive? No. Don't you want your pet to thrive, even if it's just a little fishy? I do. It's not humane. It's not humane. Okay? So unless you have a little freaking like shrimp tank, a nano tank for like freaking shrimps, or like 3 guppies, you need like a 5-gallon tank. At least. Which isn't even that big. Okay? Do you know there is a type of fish that lives in the desert and travels across the sand dunes to find water? That sounds familiar. In my mind, I'm picturing a mud skipper, but that's not it. Maybe I'm just thinking of mud skippers. Aren't they technically amphibians? Mud skippers? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Yeah, so that's my PSA. Please don't put a betta fish in a fucking cup. Sorry for cussing. I'm mad. Or like a freaking vase, a vase, a bowl like this. No. A bowl like this with one SpongeBob house. I would want to kill myself if I were that fish. I would be so bored. I hate it. So anyways, I'm very passionate about that. Anyways, went to the Petco. I went to Petco. I looked at the betas. And there was one who clearly had like swim bladder disease or something. Because he was sideways at the top of the thing. And I touched the cup and he moved. And I've been thinking about him ever since. And sometimes, if you go to like a Petco or PetSmart, sometimes if you speak to the manager, I've seen stories on Reddit, you can convince them to either give you a sick fish or give you a heavy discount on it. But I don't have another tank. I've been thinking about him ever since. I don't have another tank. I only have the one tank. Matt says no more fish. Desert catfish. I will look it up. And there's a good chance that he would die anyways. Swim bladder is curable, but it's hard to treat, especially if it's an advanced thing. But once you see pine coning, this is fish education for you, okay? If you have a fish, there are lots of diseases that you need to be aware of. Lots of fish tank problems, okay? Ick, fin rot, bloat, swim bladder, that sort of thing. Once you see pine coning, it's over. So that just means, imagine a pine cone. When their scales start to like lift and they start pine coning, it's pretty much over. There's not a lot of coming back from pine coning. It's really indicative of bad times. And so people will usually suggest to euthanize. For a while. How do you prevent your fish from doing a Finding Nemo-esque escape with an open tank? Honestly, if it were any other fish, if it weren't calcifer, I would be concerned. But calcifer is a freaking blob. Okay? He doesn't do anything. He is sleeping all the time. Sometimes he's not. Sometimes he's swimming around looking at stuff. But very rarely. I mean, I learn new things about betta fish constantly and about fish in general, fish keeping, tanks, that sort of thing. I don't think I will ever get another long-finned betta because it's sort of like pugs or like munchkin cats or something. Like they've been bred to be that way. Like if you Google right now wild betta fish, they look completely different than what you see in Petco because they've been bred to be that way. And the long fins not only are heavy and hard to swim around with, but they get caught on things. They're susceptible to tearing and, also other fish will nip at them. And sometimes bettas, if they're really stressed out, will nip at their own fins and like bite their fins off. So I don't think I will ever get another long-finned betta. I've just attributed his lackadaisicalness to him just being a long-finned betta who's tired easily. But he's pretty boring. He's really boring. He's extremely boring. He doesn't do anything except for sometimes I put in what's it called? Air stone. I put an air stone in the tank, which is basically just like a little thing that you connect a tube and an air pump to, and then it makes a very fine like bubbles, and it helps like circulate the water and stuff and oxygenate it, which is good for fishies. But there's a delicate balance because with the long-finned bettas especially, you don't want the flow to be too strong because they're not good swimmers. So I have a sponge filter, which is a very low flow filter, and an air stone. Anyways, sometimes I will catch Calcifer playing in the airstone. And it's very cute. I think I have a video of it. Let me see. I think I have a video. Where him's going straight for it. I caught him doing this for like 10 minutes. He went back 3 times in a row and rode the airstone. It was so cute. Okay, let me find it. I'm trying to keep my photos more organized. And I can also show you guys, because I don't know, if you've been here a while, maybe you remember Calcifer was like on the brink of death for a long time. Most of the time that I had him the first year. Sorry, I'm making this bigger so that I can show you things. So I'll show you a little album. And because he's so cute, when I first got him, he's so gorgeous. But he struggled a lot. Look at that. Gorgeous man. Gorgeous. Right? And look, he has still a little baby face, kind of. You can see. Gorgeous. And look at that voluptuous tail. It's so beautiful. Shortly after that, my man started to, his health started to decline. Okay, that one still looks good. Ooh, he's handsome. I started to notice this is a good picture, his fins start to look raggedy. Okay, and I don't know, maybe you can see. This is shortly after I got him. Okay, you can see the edge of his fin there. It's like raggedy. It looks torn up, whereas before it was kind of a smooth edge to the fin. And so that concerned me big time, that was happening. Fin rot is a big deal. And so I just started keeping an eye on it because I wasn't sure. And lo and behold, it just got worse and worse. Okay, so there's another progress pic of his fins looking kind of raggedy. And he's still like floating around and doing his thing. And to this day, honestly, I don't know what the problem was. I have no idea. I don't know. I tried everything I could. Anyways, it progressed. It got worse. It's starting to get really bad, okay? This is really raggedy. And it looks almost like, sorry, I'm trying to get it to focus. It looks almost like his fins are melting, you know? Like they're just, whatever. Fin rot will happen. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get it to focus and it's really not having a nice time. Fin rot will happen for a multitude of reasons. It's usually a symptom of something else, like bad water quality is usually like the number one thing, but I had a water test kit. It's possible that my tank wasn't fully cycled when I got him in there, which is a whole nother thing to talk about. Basically there's a nitrogen cycle process of when you set up a new tank, and I've explained this before, but I'm going to pull up a little illustration so that I can tell you better. Nitrogen cycle. I'm just going to talk about fish for the rest of the stream. For fucking fish tank. Okay, and I will share the link so that you can follow along with me, okay? There's that. Okay. You have a fish in a tank. Okay. The fish make pee pee poo poo. Okay. Fish make pee pee poo poo, make ammonia. All right. Ammonia you might be familiar with in pee pee. Pee pee poo poo smell. Owie. Nose burn. Okay. Fish tanks are a hyperfixation. Thank you for asking. So make ammonia in the water. Okay. If your fish tank has an established cycle of healthy beneficial bacteria, a thriving colony of bacteria, the bacteria begins nitrification and turns the ammonia, converts it into nitrite. Okay. Ammonia and nitrite you do not want in your fish tank at all. It's incredibly toxic to fishies. So continuing the nitrification cycle, it will take the nitrite and convert it into nitrate, which is fine in small doses. Okay. What is it like? You want 0 ammonia, 0 nitrite, and maybe like less than 20 parts per million or something of nitrate. Okay, it's more tolerable. But you know what? You know who loves nitrate and ammonia and nitrite? Frickin' plants. They love it. Okay, so they will help with the nitrification, the nitrogen cycle. Thank you for subscribing, Brumaris. They will help convert those toxic things into beneficial bacteria and nitrate. And then every now and then, because the nitrates, they're not really going anywhere. They're feeding the plants, but they're not going to disappear. You got to do a slight water change, like 10 to 20% water change, to just keep the water clean and nice for your fishy. Okay? So when you first set up a tank, this process, there's no beneficial bacteria in the tank yet. There's not an established colony. Unless you take a filter with mucky media and stuff in it from an established tank and you put it in that tank, that can jumpstart the process of the cycle. But when you set up a new tank, even with the plants and stuff, there's no bacteria, it's not cycled. So that process of cycling the tank can really be harmful to your fish. So it's possible that all of this started because my tank hadn't completed the nitrification cycle, and it was like literally like burning his fins off. It's possible. It's possible. I don't know. I will never know. It was definitely well established far into this predicament that we had. Okay. So I showed you his raggedy fins. Okay, and at this point, they're just getting worse and worse. I'm really trying to show you, and my phone is really struggling. There it is. They look like they're melting, you know? I have lots of plants in there, but it's not going well. Okay, poor guy. Poor man. Worse and worse it goes. I was trying to document it so that I could keep track of if it was improving, and lo and behold, it's not improving. It's getting worse. Look it. It looks like someone set fire to his fins, you know? It's crazy. I was so worried about this man. And like every day it was getting worse and worse, and he was getting more and more lethargic. And there were so many things that I was trying to do. I was trying to treat the tank with medication. And then I would take him out and put him in a hospital tank for a little bit and medicate him, because some medications are toxic to snails, and I had Snailer Moon in that tank and I didn't want to kill her. And then there's this, oh God, it was so bad. It was really, really bad, you know? And I couldn't figure it out. I was keeping, the water parameters were pristine. I was testing the tank often, and there was no problem that I could identify. I was so lost. I mean, oh man, they got really bad. Look how short his fins are, you know? Remember how he looked in the beginning. Big, flowing fins, okay? And then look at that. And I was so worried. I was so scared, because once they get down all the way to the body, there's no growing back fins. And then he can't swim properly, and what kind of life is that? So there were a lot of points during this process. This was November. This was late November, that picture I just showed you, of 2022. Okay? And we got him, I'm going back, May of 2022. So this was months of just like declining health and whatever. Oh, Booker's dreaming. Oh. Hi. Do you have a dream? Just see him plop his head down. Oh, good boy. Okay, so that was December. Or November. And I think at that point I had basically, I don't know, I'm missing a lot of stuff here, I think. I'm trying to see, because I had pictures of him that, I don't know, I must have deleted them or something. I had pictures of him where he was just like on the floor of the tank on his side all day long. And like he could barely move. I was like hand feeding him bloodworms and stuff and like bringing food to his face so that he could eat. And I don't know, eventually, like I was definitely contemplating euthanasia. I was like, this is not a life for him. And I actually like reached out to someone on Reddit and was like, can I ask you a question about, because you're posting a lot of things about rehabilitating betas. Can I ask you specifically, because it's sometimes very hard to gather information from a big Reddit thread of people being like, this, try this, no, don't try that, you know. So I like reached out to this random stranger and was like, how do I dose methylene blue? Do you suggest this? I'm going to take him out and put him in a hospital tank that's like less than a gallon. I'm going to do 100% water changes every day to keep the water pristine. I'm going to heat it. I'm going to whatever. I was doing aquarium salt in the tank and whatever. I mean, the stuff, some of the things that I did towards the end were like last ditch things. I was mixing medication into frozen bloodworms and thawing them and then like feeding him medicated bloodworms. And then in the whatever, I gave him a methylene blue dip, which was so strange. I was like certain that this was just like not something that you should ever do, but I guess it worked. I truly, I don't know. I don't know what the fix was. But I put this stuff, I have it still, methylene blue. It looks like blue dye in the water and it stained my hand. I put it in a bucket and I diluted it with clean reverse osmosis. Sorry, my thing will not focus today. Reverse osmosis filtered water. We have a little tap on our thing. Very nice for fish stuff. Thank you, people who we rent from. I gave him I dipped him in the methylene blue for like 10 seconds. It was so strange. I was like, this can't be correct. And it was like dark blue water. And I scooped him up and I dipped him and I held him in my hand in the thing and I counted to 10 and I took him back out and I put him in his thing. I have no idea. I don't know. I put an air stone in the hospital tank to maybe try to like circulate the water more and oxygenate it. And then a week later, he perked up and he was swimming and he was up at the surface of the water rather than like laying on the bottom. And I was like, oh my God. And then those tiny short fins, Heavy Rocker Fin, thank you so much for subscribing. Those short little fins you saw stopped looking like ragged on the edge. And like he started to get better and I started feeding him more too. And I mean, I don't know what it was. Could be a combination of many things. I don't know what caused it and I don't know why it happened. Anyway, so here is a picture where you can see shortly after this time, like this is January of 2023. So this is a few months after that picture I showed you of the really short fins. You can start to see regrowth. You can start to see fin regrowth. And that was the most exciting thing for me ever. I couldn't believe it. I was so worried that he was never going to grow back his fins and he was just going to be this short, raggedy man. But you can really see like down there how translucent they are. And like up at the back there, you can start to see his fins growing back. And I was so stoked. I was so happy. Anyway, so I'm going to show you now a more recent thing. I mean, Here he is sort of more recently, I guess, and you can kind of see all his fin regrowth. You can see the more translucent part of his fins down there at the bottom. That's all regrowth. It's amazing. So that's him. That was in September of last year. So towards the end of last year. Okay. Let's see. He's still a little skinny. And I don't know what that's about. But anyways, here he goes into his air stone. It's never going to focus. It's never going to be nice. There we go. Look at him go. Whee! And he did this like 3 times. He would go into the air stone bubbles and then take a ride in them. He's so cute. Okay. He likes the air stone. But he's not a great swimmer, you can see. He's kind of like sinking. He's doing that. Here, this is a better one. Whee! Look at him go. Whee! And then bloop. And then he plopped. Okay. So he's having fun. So he'll go and sorry, you have to ignore the schmutzig water stains. So he'll go and he'll do his little airstone playtime, and then he's just freaking sleeping the rest of the day. He's a very boring guy, but all I'm thankful for is that he's not suffering, and he's eating, and he's playing in his airstone, and then he's freaking snoozing. So I have no worries about him jumping out of the fish tank, which is where this question started. And this is always what happens to me. I get off on a tangent and then I don't answer the original question. I'm not concerned about him jumping out of the tank. He's never shown any interest in that, although betas are notorious jumpers. One time he did jump during a water change, a big tank clean. I put him in a cup and he jumped out of the cup and I had to scoop him up off the carpet. He was freaking me out. So yeah, that's the man. That's the man. That's the context. And Muthspita, I think you asked me how you're supposed to know what size tank to get a fish. And I'm circling back to that now because the answer is it depends on the fish. It really depends on the fish. I personally would not want to keep anything in anything less than 5 gallons just because unless it's like a shrimp tank, like little shrimps, little nano shrimps, or like, you know, there's not actual fish in there, a little like invertebrate tank, snail tank, because they're poop machines. And if you look back at our information about the nitrogen cycle, then you're gonna be poisoning. There's not a general size to gallon ratio. Not really. No, not really. It depends on the fish. If you want a small tank and small fish, I would recommend like, you could do like a between like 2 to 5 gallon tank with a handful of guppies or rasboras or something else, a really tiny schooling fish. But just know that like guppies, I believe, and sorry, endlers like live bearers and stuff will have tons of babies. So you just got to be careful. However, the nice thing about like guppies, fancy guppies specifically, is similar to betas. You can tell the difference between males and females. So if you don't want the population to blow out of control, you can just stock it with one gender. But yeah, for beta fish, I mean, you have to look at the size of the fish. You know, like a beta is going to be like this big. Guppies are itty bitty tiny. Same with like the little rasboras and the endlers and you know, those kinds of things. I'm blanking on the rest of them. Those guys can do better, but they're schooling fish, so you need to have at least like 6 of them or else they're sad. Goldfish need more gallon to fish ratio because they're so dirty. They make such a mess. They poop all the time. So like, whereas I would have a minimum of a 5-gallon tank for a betta fish, I would have a minimum of like a 20-gallon tank for a goldfish. You know, it just depends. It really depends. But if there's a certain type of fish that you're interested in, then, you know, start looking into that. Or if you're like, okay, I can't, they do get really big. Goldfish get humongous. They'll grow to like the size of the thing that they're in. So if you took a little stupid carnival goldfish and you gave it a pond, it would grow to the size of like a koi. It's crazy. Maybe not all of them, but you know, a lot of them. What I would recommend if you're thinking about getting a fish is either doing research for the type of fish that you're interested in, or yeah, they are koi. But koi usually like are a fancy variety of goldfish. They're not like feeder goldfish. You know what I mean? Like koi, when people think of koi, they think of like fancy goldfish because of the fins and the stuff. They're bred to be a little bit fancier. But feeder goldfish, but they're the same. They're the same species. Sorry, back to my thing. If you're thinking about getting fish and you're not sure where to start, either do some research. Betta fish are great starter fish. They're very simple. They don't require a ton of maintenance, but you'll want to make sure that they're the only fish in the tank. That is with the caveat of female betta fish can cohabitate together, but a betta sorority is not a beginner fish. You know what I mean? Like a betta sorority, they're much more, you need to be a more experienced fish keeper. Betta fish, male betta fish, don't feel bad for them. They hate other fish. They hate them. They're not nice to other fish. They're very aggressive. They're predators. They're predators. They will kill other fish. So don't feel bad. And there are certain creatures that they can live with. Like, if you had a big tank, okay? Like, I have a 10-gallon tank for calcifer, and I have been wanting to stock it with some shrimp because I don't think calcifer is going to give them any trouble. He's very docile and doesn't do anything. He doesn't even flare anymore. He's, like, flared a handful of times in his life. And for those of you who are out of the betta fish loop, one of the ways that bettas display aggression or whatever, intimidation, is that they have behind their gills, they have little, it's like Jurassic Park. It's like those dinosaurs. They flare like this. Here, I'll find a picture for you. And it's good for them to do for exercise sometimes. But, oh yeah. Okay, these are good pictures. Let me see. But, so like sometimes people will like put a mirror in their tank as a toy and then they'll flare at their tank, at their mirror. This is a good picture. This is going to freak you out if you've never seen this before. I'm copying and pasting a link. It's a Flickr link. I'm sorry. I hope it works. I'm going to click on it and see. Yeah, that's good. So that's a betta flaring. Okay. The silver parts, I guess I could just show this. We could just have it on the screen. There it is. Okay. There he is. There's a betta flaring. Okay. The silver part of his of the flaring is the gills. So that's where their gills are, and then the red part of the flaring it kind of like unfurls. It's like tucked away most of the time. So you can't even really see it. I'm going to hide this for 1 second and show you another one. So like I'll show you this one. I'll do that. I'll do... What else will I do? This guy's nice and grumpy. Here we go. So this one isn't red, obviously, but you can see where the gills are, and then where the flaring it comes from under, sort of like that. They make angry. That's anglerfish. Okay, and then here's another one. Oh, he's little, but you can see like the different colorations and stuff. There's a lot of variety. And then I want to show, I guess like this is a good picture to show you how it looks when they're not flaring. From the side, sort of. Trying to show you. This is a good one too, but. So like, this guy is like half flaring, I guess. And you can kind of see, under there where the flaring is kind of like tucked away. And maybe I have a picture of calcifer. I mean, listen, I love a betta fish. I think they're great. They have a lot of personality, and you can get a really cheap 5-gallon tank at, I already have a betta. This has been betta fish TED Talk. I think they're great. They have a lot of personality, and they're beautiful, obviously. But if you want more fish than that, like you could get a little tiny, like a little school of neon tetras, you know. Hold on, let me move this. Like let me Google. I'm just gonna look in here, neon tetras, and I can show you. And they're very pretty too. And they're just if you have a desire to watch a school of fish, you know, do that sort of thing. If you had a big tank, you could theoretically, depending on the betta fish, depending on their personality and how aggressive they are, you could house them with something small, like a school of neon tetras or like rasboras, because they're fast and they're tiny, and they can swim away if you have enough space. If you have enough hiding places, lots of plants for them to hide, you could do that. Bettas can do that. It's just you gotta be careful, and you gotta know what to watch for too. So there's neon tetras. And tetras and rasboras, they come in all sorts of different types. And these are just like little guys, little schooling fish that are relatively low maintenance and interesting, I think. That's a bad picture. And so, like, yeah, while I would like to have these guys, 10 gallons is not enough for me to put a school of neon tetras in with my betta fish. You have to think of the bio load, okay? That's what it's called. That's the how many poops are going to be in this water, and how am I going to be able to keep this water clean? Is the biological filter, aka the bacteria, the established bacteria colony, going to be able to keep up with the amount of waste going into the water, is what you have to think of. Okay, so these are neon tetras. They're itty bitty little guys. They're really cool. They're fun. And also, the more plants that you have in your tank, live plants, the cleaner your water will be. So that's something to consider too. You can get a pretty decent... The only thing is, with bettas, is that they have relatively high temperature requirements because they're tropical fish in a warm climate. So depending on where you are in the world, you're going to want to keep that water around like 78 degrees, between like 78 and 80 degrees. 78, 82, 76 is doable. It's getting a little low. And a lot of cheap heaters, tank heaters, will come like prefixed at like 75 degrees, you know? So that's something to consider. There's a lot of things to consider. Honestly, if you're thinking of getting a fish, I'm more than stoked to talk about this sort of thing and give advice in Discord in like the pet channel. Because you know I'm more than stoked to answer questions and talk about my hyperfixations. Because yeah, those are good. And then these are some varieties of rasboras. It's so small. I think this is a chili rasbora. I don't know. There's like a freaking, I don't know. They come in all sorts of different varieties. So do tetras. And they're easy. They're easy fish, and they're friendly, and they're non-problematic. Honestly, if you want to watch pretty fishies, get a couple or a handful of guppies, you know. I will type in fancy guppies. Fancy guppies. Okay? Because they're beautiful. Wow. I think they're slept on, too. I think guppies are slept on. I'm going to show you. Look. A pea puffer. Dude, I love pea puffers. I would love to have one. I have so many freaking snails in my tank. But I don't mind the snails so much. And, yeah, so these are fancy guppies. These are all males. That's what the males look like. And they're very pretty. And they're chill and they're easy. So your options are, if you have a tiny apartment and you don't have a lot of space for a tank, you can say to yourself, I think I have enough room for maximum a 5-gallon tank. Then you can go onto Google and you can say, what can I stock in a 5-gallon tank? You know, that sort of thing. So I will do that. I will do that right now. What can I stock in a 5-gallon tank? I have a 10-gallon and it seems small. So, you know, rasboras. Let's see. Any stocking? Here's a Reddit thread. How nice. Okay, let's look at this. Let's look at what these people are saying. Let's look. It's going to be a white screen. I'm sorry. Bink. Any stocking ideas for a 5-gallon tank? Preferably not betta fish or guppies. Okay. I'm currently looking into pea puffers, cherry shrimp, and chili rasboras. And see, this is a nice little cube. This person has a whole frickin', this is a CO2 injector, which is good for the plants. It's a whole system that injects CO2 into the water, which the plants love. Is very good if you're going to have a planted tank. I do not have a CO2 injector. I cannot be bothered. I don't want all of this. I'm sorry. I just don't. You have to have a light. You have to have a thermometer, which is right here. And somewhere in here is probably a filter or something. Okay. It's beautiful. It's great. So let's see what people are saying. Clown killifish. Great choice. If you don't want a betta, do some fun shrimp. Also a great choice. Great choice. Shrimps. I love me some shrimps. You can 100% do a few clown killifish. They are incredibly small. This person says, hear me out, mosquito breeding colony. That's good for if you have like a betta or something, or a pea puffer or something like that, some kind of carnivorous fish. You can feed them mosquito larvae, but not for if you just have this as your only tank. Shrimp gang. Couple of goldfish, arowana, dolphin, blue whale. This person is being silly. Maybe alligator gar. Goldfish. See, this is the joke. And you know that they're joking especially once you get to arowana, because arowana are humongous. They're like really, really big. Okay. Neocardinia, that's a type of shrimp, okay? That's the little tiny shrimps. Pea puffers are actually very social with one another, best kept in a group of 3 in a 10-gallon or larger. Definitely no to the chilies as well, because schooling fish don't belong in a 5-gallon, no matter their size. Okay, well, there you go. Yeah, I was going to say, if you ever played Animal Crossing, you know arowanas. And the goldfish is the beginning of this joke, because people don't realize. People will post sometimes in subreddits like this and be like, is this big enough for my goldfish? And no, it's not. Goldfish need a lot of space, much more than people really think they do. Pea puffers are cool. So, yeah. I mean, you could get a tank between... I mean, my 10-gallon tank is like this big. Okay? It sits on a tank stand that has doors. And it's really not... It doesn't feel like a huge, big fish tank. But, you know, I would say your best bet probably in something even smaller is like shrimps. And shrimps are so fun. Shrimps are so fun. They are so busy and they're so colorful. Let's look at, not in aquariums. Let's look at, this is one of my favorite subreddits. Shrimp tank. Okay, so this is a subreddit for those people in the world who like shrimps. And they are just so fun, and they come in so many different colors. You just got to be careful about their requirements, because while Neocardinia, look at how little this one is right here. Look how little. Neocardinia are very hardy. Look at him go. Look how fun. Yeah, we are officially in maintenance hours, I know. Look at him go. And like, this is a nice shrimp bowl. They can live in small bowls, you know? Look at, and there's a yellow one. Okay. It's cool. I'm gonna sort by let's look at top of freaking all time, bitch. Oh. There you go. Look at these are these kinds of shrimp, I believe, are called red rilly. They're Neocardinia as well, and they're this really fun color. And look how fun they are. You know, they're just like fun little critters. So they do keep the tank clean. That's one of the reasons why I want them. They eat, their diet consists of algae, decaying plants, that sort of thing. And you can buy little like shrimp wafers that will sink to the bottom and they'll eat them. So yes, they do keep the tank clean of algae. They love algae. So they're great to have. Here's that cool guy. Dentists hate him for this one simple trick. Oh no. I think he's going to let the shrimps tickle him. I don't want to watch it. Bye. Here's a purple shrimp. Okay. Look at these guys. Carrot piano. And he's playing the carrot piano and they're eating it. They eat vegetables. They're very cute. And look at how like active they are. They're so fun. But just know, they will breed, which is fine. They will only breed as much as there is food for them, you know? So they won't like breed so much that they're going to starve to death. They only will breed as much as they can afford to. He's molting. So that's another thing to consider, is that they need a lot of calcium. Okay, so that they can have a good... That's a really cool video. Woo! Look at his little leggies. Okay. Wow, that was awesome. That was really cool, dude. Good job. Yeah. I love shrimp, and I really want to add some to my tank. It wouldn't be that many. I would try my best to just keep them all one gender so that they weren't breeding a ton, but you know, whoa, cool. This is me. That's me. Look at him. Just as always, If you're considering getting a pet, research, big time research, because you want to make sure that you can keep your eyes peeled for if there are problems arising, because shrimps and vertebrates have their own set of sicknesses that you need to be on the prowl for, you know. Wee! Ooh, that one's pregnant. You can see the eggies in there, and they'll carry their little eggies. It's cute. You know? Whoa. Brine shrimp. Cool. I'm 15 and recently started my own shrimp tank, and I got my first babies. Oh, no one I know IRL is excited, so I thought I'd share here. I'm excited for you. It's cool. And chat has stopped talking, so I assume that we have reached our... Look at him go. Look at his little hands. It is just like Finding Nemo. Look at him go. He's cleaning and he's eating. They are constantly eating. I love them. I can't wait to get some. Ooh, okay. Okay, surface dweller. Okay. Shrimps is bugs. Shrimps is bugs. Molting. Molting. Wow. Whee! I'm absorbed in Shrimp Nation. Oh, I love this. Christmas tree. And look at, there's a snail. I don't want to watch your shrimp filter. Okay, I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know if salt water is welcome here, but I found a coral-banded shrimp and some tide pools. That's cool. Look at his big meaty claws. I liked the idea of raising prawns or framing prawns on a tiny scale, really. There's a tiny YouTube channel I watched about it. Oh, yeah? Do you mean, farming prawns? When molting, why do they shoot out at the last bit? I don't think there's tension. I think it's just, when they're molting, I don't know. First of all, I'm going to preface this by saying I do not know the actual answer to this. I think that this is the hardest part, is getting their really long antenna out of that thing, the molt. So once they do that, they're like free, basically, you know? They're just like, pew, you know? They're done. I think that's what it is. So, because they have, oh my god. They have these like long antenna that are encased in like an exoskeleton. So that's one of the things that they're, and they have to do it slowly. They could injure themselves. It's dangerous. It's a dangerous game, molting. If anyone here follows Howie the Crab, you know how dangerous it can be. So I think it's just like past the point of where it's a struggle. You know what I mean? Wow. I love them. They look like they have little boots on, you know? They're such little people. So these are a different species of shrimp. These are Neocardinia, the little blue ones. And then these are Sulawesi. Look at them go. Look at them go. Wow. See, and they're just like so interesting. I want shrimps. I still want shrimps in my tank. I could watch them forever. Is it hard for you to eat shrimp? No. In theory, morally, I would really like to be vegetarian, but I have very little willpower. You know, ooh, yeah. Wow. This is me This is me with the fishies trying to convince Matt that we can get more fishies. I knitted a shrimp. We have another molt video. I would love to do that. I would love to be a veg. It's in Matt's office. He asked if he could keep it. Another molt video. So like those little extra filaments and things, I think that's the hard part. And then this is just basically a little tube. Wee. Okay, I'll send... I think I did once when I finished it. I'll send it again. Daytona 500 in my scrimp bowl. Look at him go. Wee! And you know, like, this is a small bowl. This is a small shrimp bowl. And it's so pretty. So, if you don't have space... Shrimps. Now I'm excited about shrimps again, but I just need to get to the point where I can... Wee! They're very fast. Cool. Uh-oh. This is duckweed or something, or some kind of floating plant that is uh-oh. Yeah. He framed himself. Okay. Oh, look, baby, born. Look, birth of babies. You can see their little eyeballs. Yay! Birth. Wow. Those are red really. Wow. That's a hand. Oh my god. Okay, that was fun. And now we can look at, we can go back to aquarium. Pretty. That's a tetra. Wow. And these are, freaking plecos or fucking, you know, little catfish. They eat the stuff on the bottom. They eat the poo-poos. They eat the dead plants and stuff. They do be cleaning. They're little like pygmy catfish or something, whatever they're called. They're cute though. Okay, so this is a beta sorority. Those are all females, and you can tell by their short fins. I do have live plants in my tank. And these are, frickin'... Oh, God, what are they called? Oh, there's shrimps on the merry-go-round. I wasn't even looking. These are the frickin'... I'm gonna scream. Frickin'... Somebody please name what the type of fish are. I'm gonna scream. Someone will know. Anyway. I love fish. See, look at this. Good advice at pets at home. Sarcasm. /S means sarcasm. Don't rush. After setting up a new tank, wait 1 day, and they put little tape over it before introducing your fish. If you're setting up a new tank, wait 1 month. The nitrogen cycle takes about 3 weeks. So if you're thinking about getting a fish tank, set up the tank, put some plants in, put a little piece of food in so that it can rot and start the nitrogen cycle. Oh my God. Ugh, these are guppies. That's awful. What did they do? House sitter effed up tank. I was gone for a few days and they overfed the aquarium with freeze-dried brine shrimp. Neither my tuxedo guppy or 2 ADFs even eat the shrimp. They were just included in this stupid tropical fish food variety pack I got. I explicitly wrote flakes and ADF pellets in my instructions. Oh, man. I've done 2 50% water changes over 2 days. Oof. That's bad. Who's in here? Shrimps? I see shrimps. I see some shrimps. 69 days later, full tank shot. Booker's good. Oh, I don't have the bonus count here. He's right here. How beautiful. How beautiful. So you got shrimps, you got some little rasboras, some tetras. I think that's what all those are. How beautiful. What is this creature? I don't know. My sister almost killed my fish. Oh no. I'm inclined to say female just because of how stout and short the fins are, but it's hard to tell. Let's see what everyone says. Looks like a female to me. Males would have a beard next to gills. That's true. Oh, that's good to know. Ooh, these are mollies. I think that's what those other fish were. I think that's what it was. I want this. I want that. That's a betta fish. So pretty. Woo! Cool. First planted tank. You know what's great? There's a sponge filter. Pothos. I have so many plant cuttings in my tank. I have so many. They love it. They love the poo-poo water. And then if I do a water change, I will take the poo-poo water from the tank and then I will water my plants with it and they love it. Okay, now you're probably wondering, why is this water brown? What's wrong? Nothing. I'll tell you. First of all, this is a heater. This is a big piece of wood, okay? Driftwood. Driftwood, all sorts of woods, they will release tannins into the water, which is what's in tea. It makes the tea dark, okay? It's basically like fish tea. And the tannins also have some antibacterial qualities, so it's good to, if your fish is sick or struggling, or even if you get a new fish and you're trying to like make sure that he settles in nicely, they like to feel safe in the dark water, and the tannins are good for their immune systems and stuff, and they like it. So it's fish tea. Some people really like dark water in their tanks. I think that is a cichlid. So this is upgraded from a 55 to 75 gallon tank. This is cichlid, I'm pretty sure. No, it's not. It's not a cichlid. I'm sorry. I don't know what I'm saying. That's a big tank. Gotta get some more plants in there. But it's fun. Hello. My 2-month-old 5-gallon Wallstead. So, the Wallstead method is when you don't have a filter and the plant, between the plants and the beneficial bacteria, it filters the tank itself. That's the Wallstead method. I feel like even though I do have a sponge filter in my tank, I'm borderline at this point where you don't really need to do water changes because the parameters are really good because of all of the plants in there and the beneficial bacteria, and just the bio load is low, so whatever, there's a betta fish, and there's some neon tetras, and they're very nice in their planted tank. And see, there's lots of places for them to hide. I don't know how big this tank is, maybe a little small. On the verge of giving up this hobby. What am I doing wrong? I'll tell you what. Plastic plants. That's what you're doing wrong. Plastic plants. Plastic plants. You don't put plastic plants in. These are plastic plants too. You can put plastic plants in, especially with something little like little tetras. But if you have a long-finned betta fish, no plastic plants. It will snag on their fins. Ooh, is this too much surface agitation? I think it looks fine. They don't look like they're struggling to swim. They look good, I guess. But you know what? If you have too much surface agitation, you can put a little sponge in the outlet. Put a little sponge in the filter outlet. It does look a little boingy, you know? Snail eggs. Those are snail eggs. Those are snail eggs. You got snails in here? What are these egg sacs in my shrimp tank? I bet you got snails in there. Let's see. Let's see if I'm smart. Snail eggs. Yep. They look like bladder snail eggs for sure. For sure. I do know the answer because I am obsessed. I just find it so fascinating that like I absorb this information. Uh-oh. So no one has commented on this an hour ago. If you have a Reddit account and you want to comment on this person's post, you could comment, I don't know anything, but look into twirling fish disease. It's potentially not a good, it's like a neurological thing. It's not good, but nobody has said anything. What is this small creature? I don't know. I just love my snails. I like my snails too. I'm cool with my snails. Massive waist increase. Why? Okay, and also I love this. I love this. 24 hours of love and care can do. This is my favorite thing. When people post before and after pictures of their betta fish. They get them in the cup and they're so bland looking, and then they get them home and then like a week later they're so colorful because they're not stressed anymore. We can look in the betta fish subreddit. What do you call it? When do you call it and euthanize? Oh, that's not a nice thing to see. Let's sort by top of all time. Top of all time. Look at, oh my god, this is so cool. I've seen this. Did you know that you can train betta fish to jump through a hoop? Look at it. Were you good in school? No. No, I wasn't. You know why? Because I wasn't interested in those things. That's trust. Beta Olympics. See how smart they are? Look at him go! Hee hee! No, you know what I did well in? I did well in psychology. I did well in biology. And sometimes English, depending. If it was like creative writing or something, I had fun with that. Look how gorgeous. Wow. See this? My local fish store does betas right. Each has a 2.5 gallon bubble filter, hiding spot, and live plants. This is the alternative to cups. This is how it should be. It can be done. We have the technology. love it. Oh. The light is iridescent on this beautiful white betta fish. Gorgeous boy. Ugh. See, Calcifer is a blob. He doesn't swim around like that. Oh. Wow. Oh my gosh, what a beautiful transformation. His tail is almost entirely missing and he grew it back. Wow. Yeah. Oh, wow. Sorority. Calcifer's also a little skinny. These are nice plump fish. Calcifer's skinny. Oh. See? Local PetSmart has officially put all of their betas in tanks, no more cups. Yay. That makes me happy. Yeah. My husband's beta store coming along. I will shop there. This is a snail. This is a nearite snail, and this man is flaring at him. He doesn't like it. He's mad. And look at the flare, angerfish. He doesn't like it. Look at him. He make angy. 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 Maybe we should just look at the transformation flare. I love it. See, this is what I want to do with that man at the PetSmart. The Petco, the man. And then look. Oh. Make me happy. Oh, look. He's growing it. He looks better. Oh. Ew. Made a bed for my beta. He does seem to enjoy it. Cool. I love that. Tapped on his lid to make sure he was just sleeping. The look he gave me was spicy. They do be sleeping. And they do look dead. Hi, Tater. Ooh, beautiful. Yeah. Oh, there's that little one again. Oh my gosh, I love her. Ooh, pretty. This is also a thing. I mean, okay. Yeah. Here's the thing. Fish be sleeping. And they don't have eyelids. So it's not like they go. Sometimes they really look dead. For real. Or they're sleeping and you're like, hey, it's food time. You can say, wake up. Really, I think aquariums and places like that will say don't tap on the glass because kids will just think, and it stresses them out. Hi. Okay, I love you. You can be there. One time, Calcifer, I had like a little cholla wood tube. I thought the man was dead. He had wedged himself into the tube. I couldn't find him forever. And then I finally found him and he was in the middle of the tube of cholla wood. And I thought he was dead in there. I had to convince him to come out. Does this mean my beta Antonio trust me? Ooh, he's pretty, Antonio. Yeah, he do trust you. He likes you. Calcifer will, like, follow me around the tank if I'm, like, picking out dead plants or something. But he doesn't do that. New boy. Here comes the boy. That is a beautiful fish. Yay. This is what I like to see. Ooh. Wow. Gorgeous. Look. Transformation. This is what I'm talking about. Okay. You get them home. They're babies. Some color change is normal. But also they were stressed at the pet store. Wow. Hi. What did you do? Look at that. Beautiful transformation. Yay. Fish memes. Eee, I love her. Aw. Bye. Rest in peace, Lenny. That was a rest in peace post. This boy convinced me to buy a macro lens for my iPhone. He's very pretty. This is where I would raise my kids. Okay, so this is a meme I'm going to explain to you. Okay? This is a cropped out picture of a bubble nest. Okay? I see a lot of posts in this subreddit of new beta owners, male beta owners, taking pictures of being like, what is this? And there's just like a ton of bubbles on the surface of the tank. And it just means that he likes where he is and he thinks it would be a good spot for somebody to lay eggs in there. So it's funny. A happy male beta will often build bubble nests and wait around, and there's no babies, there's no kids that come along. Okay? So that's what this meme is. Spooky. Hee hee. Cute. My little zucchini found a fun hiding spot. Yes, he did. Wow. Jesus. So I believe that the variety of beta fish like this that have the big, long, fancy side fins are called Dumbo beta. Cute. That looks like calcifer. Dumbo ear beta. Pretty. We love them. 7 months ago. Okay. He's cute. He's cute. Wow. Aww. They're silly. That's me. Chemist. Oh my god, I love that. There's a little pellet. Oh, he mad. He mad. Oh my gosh, I love that. Look, there's a beta pellet and the shrimp took it. You didn't miss all the stream. We're looking at fishies. He's mad. I think he's more mad at the phone, though, at the person filming. That's a good video of a flare. He's more mad just seeing the phone. Sometimes they do that. Wow. Betas are an awesome pet. Okay, Tato. Gary, this is Reddit. Reddit, this is Gary. Hi, Gary. Not epic. Gorgeous. Tato, you're cute. I love you. Uh-oh. This is Finwick. He gave me a heart attack after I noticed him stuck in the shrimp feed tube. Yeah. At any moment, the air conditioning man could arrive, just so you know. Him's a dummy. He did it. Yay. They do that. They do that. Hello. No more fish at Walmart. Bye. Hell yeah. Max's before and after. Here he is in his sad cup. It looks like he has fin rot too. Woo! Yeah, that's why I said it, because I wasn't sure if the man was here. Is that not the best, most satisfying thing? They are so sad. Yes, they're miserable. They're awful. They're miserable in those little cups. They're so stressed out. They're sitting in their waste. They're sitting in a toilet. They deserve better. It's my passion. Huh? Haha. So this is this variety is called like alien, I believe, or like I guess the green samurai, but these are a little bit closer to what wild betas look like. This is like their normal sort of like fin size. So this is achieved through years and years and years of breeding and stuff, and it's not ideal, but it's sure is. Oh my god, cute. I'm on a night train from Berlin to Zurich, and I'm really happy I caught some of this fish stream. Oh my god, I'm so happy too. Oh my god. Dude, slow-mo betas, that's it. That's the shit. Angerfish. Angie. I love them. They're funny. I am a beta. Bowls are bad. Easy flow filter is ideal. Tropical temperatures. Tanks of 2.5 gallon plus. I would say 5, but 2.5 is doable. Aggressive with my own kind. Beautiful. Blathers does know the right way to have a beta. Here's another sorority. And you can see they're still very colorful, but they have short, tiny fins. And no beard. They're so cute. I would like to one day have a beta sorority. Wow. Yeah, see, Calcifer doesn't do this. And I volley back and forth between like worried about him and also just like he's always been like this from the day we got him. He's just really lazy, I think, and just not very active. So I don't know. I go back and forth between something's wrong with him or he's just like this. Look at that. 3 weeks. 3 weeks difference. Wow. Hello. Look at her. There she is. Sorry. Make it bigger. So it's not so blinding. It went back for him. Say hi to Arlo. It's cute. This is a more natural shape again. He found this is a ram's horn snail. Uh-oh. Oh, yep. Saw that coming. Calcifer I have never seen him eat a snail, and I have so many little frickin' snails like this in my tank. This is called crown tail. It's completely normal. Hi, yes. I see your debate about dark mode versus light mode, and I'm not logged in on this, and I don't feel like switching it right now. I do like a dark mode Reddit experience. However, it's harder to read. I'll just say, it's harder for eyeballs to read. Our eyeballs were not meant to read light text on a dark background, just so you know. Just so you know. And sometimes you might notice that it looks like foggy around the white text. It's because of our eyeballs. Ew. Wow. That's another Dumbo ear. Ew. Ew. Pinto. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Oh, yeah. Woo. Woo. Handsome. That's another thing, too, is when they're flaring like this. If you buy, like, a betta fish from a breeder, you'll see a lot of these kinds of videos of them, like, showing off their colors. Because when bettas are swimming, normally they're not puffed up like this, making big round. When they're angy, and they have, like, a little mirror or something to make them angy, they make themselves as big as possible. So it's a really good display of their colors and stuff, but you can see him flaring. He does look like a beautiful Kleenex. Oh my god. If I ever get a white betta fish, I'm gonna name him Kleenex. Oh my god, I want to go back for that betta fish and see if he's still alive. Alright, name him Kleenex. Damn. He's goth. So this is another crown tail. Sometimes people will post pictures of their crown tail and be like, do I have fin rot? No. It's on purpose. It was bred to look like a frickin' sword. Wow. Wow. Oh. Look at that. Macro. Oof. Okay, so look. This is bloat. It's what happens when overfeeding your betta. They get bloat. And he's not pine coning yet, but it looks like he's real close to not feeling good. But look at him now! Hell yeah. Look at that. No bloat. Look at that. Look at that. Supernova. Wow. So pretty. It is. It's like Wizard of Oz. It's like Wizard of Oz. Did you know? Everyone knows. Everyone knows all the fun facts about Wizard of Oz. So every time that I say them, I feel like everyone's like, yes. Did you know that in the scene when Dorothy arrives in Oz and it's all color and the house is black and white, it's a body double, and the set is built black and white. The body double opens the door and she's dressed in black and white, and the outside of the door is color. And then they switch her out for Judy Garland. Okay? In full color costume. It's cool. I don't really, honestly, this is my hot take of the world. I don't really care for Wizard of Oz. I don't really like it that much. But I think the movie, the lore and the, like, how they made the movie and just what it meant for cinema is so fascinating. You've never seen Wizard of Oz? It's not that great. It's kind of boring, honestly. And I will say, every time I watch Wizard of Oz, there is an exact moment where my brain leaves the building and I no longer want to watch it. And I will tell you, okay? I'm going to tell you when. First of all, movie kind of long. Second of all, it's creepy. Yeah, it is creepy. But it's like a balagan, you know. It's like, okay, it's so much schlepping. It's schlepping. There's too much schlepping. Okay, they arrive in Oz. Spoilers. They arrive in Oz. Okay, you have the iconic scene of no one sees the wizard, and then they get in, and it's very scary, and the wizard is all big. Okay, and he's so scary, No, I can make it all the way to Oz. He's so scary, big Wizard of Oz, and it's already been like an hour or more of the movie, okay? It's already been an hour or more of the movie, and they arrive in Oz, and Wizard of Oz says to them, go frickin' do something to the Wicked Witch of the West. I don't even remember. It's like kill her or get her frickin' thing or something. Get her stupid thing. And then maybe you can come back here and frickin' I'll help you, idiots. And then they leave. They leave Oz. And they have to do all this stupid bullshit. There's some living trees, some trees that threaten them. And they go and they fight the lady, the witch. And then they come back. They come back to Oz. And then he's like, just kidding, idiots. I don't even want to help you. But it's after they leave Oz the first time, I'm like, I made it so far. How many times do I have to watch these idiots skip around? You know what I'm saying? Beep, beep. That's so smart. Designated acclamation cup. They do be skipping. And it like the whole movie is called The Wizard of Oz. The whole thing. Glinda comes down from a bubble, bro. Okay? Comes down and says, go to the Wizard of Oz and he will help you. And the whole thing is this journey to get to Oz. Follow the yellow brick road. We have obstacles along the way. We go into the field of poppies. They rain asbestos down upon us. They rain us with asbestos. It's snow in the movie, but it's asbestos, okay? They have a little asbestos nap in the poppies, and they wake up and they're like, oh, fuck! We gotta get to Oz! And they get up and they're like, freaking go! We gotta go! Let's go to Oz! Now! It's an emergency! They get there and he goes, come back later. No! No. I don't want to. The whole point was to come here. Say JK right now. It's not JK. Yeah. Let me look and see. Okay. I guess I should stop streaming now because the sponsor is approved. I should go help Matt, probably. And you're gonna tell me I'm wrong? She came down in a bubble, bro. We are close. We're very close. Sponsor approved. I don't like the fact that we schlepped all this way to Oz. And he, instead of helping, he said, please go run an errand for me. I know you've been on a crazy journey. I know that you have been schlepping all over town. I need you to go get some milk. I think it's like her broom or something that he wants. I don't remember. And to be honest, if I'm being honest, this is the roast of Wizard of Oz, okay? If I'm being completely transparent and honest with you right now, Somewhere Over the Rainbow is the only good song. If I Only Had a Brain is fun for 1 second, and then they sing it 5 more times. Yeah, he should face consequences. They sing. I like it when the Scarecrow sings If I Only Had a Brain. Okay. I like it when he sings it. He has a nice voice and it's pleasant and they sing it together and it's cute. And then they meet the freaking Tin Man and he's like, if I only had a heart. And then they meet the freaking Cowardly Lion. If I only had a knife. And I like the Cowardly Lion. Honestly, that man who played the Cowardly Lion put his whole pussy into that role, and he's very funny and hilarious. That one freaking song that he sings is so annoying. If I was the king of the forest, not Duke, not whatever. It's so annoying. No, it's almost. Frog Detective is from New York, maybe. But the Cowardly Lion, he doesn't have an accent until he says the knife. That's what he says. Yeah, he was wearing an actual lion pelt. This is true. This is true. I forgot about that one. I know he's controversial right now, but have you seen Todrick Hall's Oz-themed musical? I prefer not to watch Todrick Hall. Honestly, it's not because he's controversial. I don't really, I don't know. I do not like him. I'm sorry. I think he's incredibly talented. He just reminds me of Every annoying theater kid that thought they were hot shit. Except he actually made it. Have you seen his freaking house tours? Let's watch one. Am I allowed? No, you know what? Am I allowed to watch his YouTube videos? Am I allowed? Hey, other YouTubers do it all the time, okay? Oh, he did a new one 1 month ago. I think this is the one. I'm so sorry. Let's see. I need to make this fit. Wait. Is it appropriate for me to be making fun of Todrick Hall on my stream? Is that problematic of me to be making fun of someone on the internet? Oh! It's a Gucci painting with Minnie Mouse. It's so ugly. It's so ugly. It's so ugly. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to this man. It is so ugly. It's not only the... I don't like this. I don't like designer print like this, or like I love Coach. I don't like the Coach C print. I don't like the Gucci print. I don't like it. I think it's ugly. So not only that, okay? Not only that, do we have the ugly Gucci print. We have a freaking humongous Minnie Mouse. We have Mickey Mouse all over town. And you know what? I vibe with the classic Mickey. I like a classic Disney moment. Why do we have Spich all over it? Who let Jackson Pollock in? To freaking... You know... This is the ugliest thing I have ever had the misfortune of seeing. A little bit like... And the pillows. Okay. I'm over and I say it's on the butt table. First of all, that's so funny to me. Not the butt table, whatever, that's cool, fine. The table is this big. The table is the like, oh, this is, I'm so sorry that I'm roasting this man for quite honestly no reason. Who cares? Why am I so turned right now? Nothing matters. The table is this big, and it looked like the only thing that he keeps on it is the Hamilton books. And maybe what, like a freaking, like a drink or something? What was on there? A candle and a crystal. A candle and a crystal, and then books. So the fact that he's saying, if I ever say it's on the butt table, this is what I'm talking about. Why would you ever say it's on the butt table? What would I be searching for or ask you? Do you know where my keys are? There's nothing on the butt table for me to be inquiring about, really. Or, like, how often is someone coming into your home and saying, Todrick, where is that Hamilton book? Can I look at your Hamilton book? You know, it's so phony to me. It's just, you don't say it's on the butt table. And I know that you don't. I know that you're not saying that it's on the butt table, but you think that that's a funny thing to say for the camera. I am furious. I'm scared. I was trying to pause it on a frame of the bed. Okay.
That's so cool.
Okay. So this is what I'm talking about. This is bad design. This is bad design because there's a way to do it. This is what I'm saying. There's a way to do a Wizard of Oz room that would be freaking dope. And when you watch Wizard of Oz, do you see these colors? No. Do you see these colors? No. Even in the beginning of the movie when it is black and white, it is still bright. It's a bright movie. It's very bright. It's extremely saturated. And then look at this. What the fuck is this picnic blanket? When do we have a picnic in Wizard of Oz? What the fuck is this beige sheet? This is how you're going to furnish your Wizard of Oz room? What is this Kraft mac and cheese duvet that is just one fucking color? This looks like Bowser's castle. This looks like a Bowser's castle room. I'm very passionate about this because this is a monstrosity of performative wealth, and it is so ugly. It is so wrong. No wonder you have 2 rooms. I wouldn't want to sleep in here. It's stressful. It's crushing. Bye. Bye. I'll see you guys later. I can't do it. I can't do it anymore. What do you mean? Are you serious? What a disgusting nuisance. An ugly, horrendous eyesore. This is what I'm saying. We have Wizard of Oz. Wizard of Oz, which, as you know, I'm not the biggest fan of. But iconic imagery, such as the Wicked Witch of the East crushed under the house. Those ruby slippers and striped leggings, or whatever they are, striped tights. Let's make the sheets of the bed black and white stripes, okay? Are you with me? Let's make the sheets of the bed black and white stripes. We have, like, black and white stripe. Bless you. Thank you for the fart, Squiddy Butt. Black and white stripes is the theme of the bed, okay? And maybe you can do the house headboard. Fine, I'll allow it. And then we have accent pillows. Ruby red sequins accent pillows, okay? We have ruby red sequins accent pillows on the bed. But it's plush and it's fluffy. It's a fluffy... The bed it looked hard. It looked like you could bounce a quarter off of it. That's not nice, okay? There's a way to do it, and this is not it. And there you go. I mean... And this is the thing, like, I need to go help Matt. He's like, please come help me. This is the thing. First of all, also, I cannot recommend enough Nick DeRamio's videos about Todrick Hall. something that comes to mind when I see this house tour is like, I don't know if you're familiar with Trixie Mattel, okay? A drag queen. Let me see. Maybe there's like a Trixie Mattel house tour. Let's just see. I'm not going to watch the whole thing because I need to help Matt. Inside Trixie's drag room. Great. Yeah, I'm going to play this for 1 second. I'm going to play this for 1 second and we can skip around. This is, okay, this is an example of taking the things that you love, no matter how gaudy or crazy they are, and doing it in a way that is thoughtful and with love and care, all right? All right? So this is what I'm talking about.
Mattel, and today we're taking a little jaunt through my drag studio, my makeup room, and all my closets, shall we?
Yes, we shall, Miss Mattel. Okay.
Subscribe to the channel because I don't do nice things like
look at this
every day,
wallpaper.
but I do put out
It is
videos every
so
single Monday.
fun.
So,
Okay.
let's
And then I'm just going to point out, I don't know what this is. I think this is a wall in a bathroom or something. It looks like, or like a closet. Do you see how this pink and this yellow of these walls are picked out directly from this wallpaper? It's camp, but it's tasteful and it's thoughtful and it's well designed. And yes, she has a makeup company. She's a drag queen. She features all of these things in a way that is stylish. Come on.
get started.
Fierce.
Well, my first iteration of a drag space was at my apartment on the east side of Milwaukee, and there was a closet under the stairs that you could just
Okay,
duck
so we're
into.
talking, we're looking.
Tools are up
I just want to
here,
look.
Hairbrushes, bits, bobs, skincare.
And
I
it's
used a lot
functional,
of drag.
too.
Then when I moved to LA, all my drag was in
There wasn't a single room in Todrick's house that was functional. A place where you could tell a person actually sits here and uses this space. You know? It's all just like a show. Okay, so there's that. I wonder, this is basically just the drag room is what this tour is. And then her talking about it. But like, look, this and this, both. The pink here and the yellow here are both exactly from the wallpaper. You can tell that she picked out the wallpaper and said, I love this wallpaper. I'm going to let this inspire the rest of the room. So I'm going to paint the wall this yellow. You know, it's so good. It's so good. Okay.
I don't know.
Sorry.
This is where we'll keep.
So there's that. And then what is this? Trixie's house show. Oh no, this is just her house. I wonder if she has a video of like her. Look at this. This is office tour.
Welcome to Trixie Cosmetics. I'm Trixie Mattel, and
This is even just the warehouse, the Trixie Cosmetics warehouse. And look, her dress, like, I know, the motel is so good. The motel is so good.
I'm Trixie Mattel, and welcome to Trixie.
Even the warehouse is thoughtful. And the dress is so distinctly Trixie Mattel, and it's so distinctly that room we just saw. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I love. And there's the Trixie pink again. Look at this wallpaper. Look at that. Look at this. Look at these two. One could argue two big, bright, crazy looking wallpapers right next to each other. But guess what? There are colors pulled. They match. They match. It was thought out. It was thoughtful. Yeah, she's from Drag Race. Okay. Look at. There's a cohesiveness to it. Ugh. Look at. It's a custom wallpaper with her packaging on it from her makeup. I love. There's so much. This is a person who loves the space that they're in.
We love it. This little light up sign. Because sometimes during the day we're here so long we forget where we work, and this is a reminder for that. Gumball machine for product shots that I took once that I don't think we ever used because they weren't that good. This is presidential candidate Barbie, actually, from last year.
And these are just.
This is Barbie from.
She has a huge Barbie collection in her house. So these are like clearly things that she loves. It's her little Funko. One neon sign. This is one little bookshelf of things that she liked. Okay? look at this wallpaper. With the patent of Barbie. The Barbie patent. Are you kidding me?
So it's a lie. But look at the wallpaper. This, I thought...
And there's such a like realness to her. It's not...
Explain, because we don't have a landline.
We don't have a
We
landline.
moved it in here to make it seem like we have an office. This isn't plugged into anything. So it's a lie. But look...
It's a lie. And it's so relatable and real. This is a real human. I'm mad. I'm furious. I will never forgive Todrick. I will never forgive Todrick for what he just put me through with that house tour. And then look, real quick, Matt is like, please come help me. Here, I'll just show you this real quick. This is on Discovery. Trixie had a show on Discovery Plus called Trixie Motel, where she bought a rundown motel in Palm Springs and redid the whole thing. And now I'm going to just show you a really quick thing. This is eclectic, funky, outrageous design done really, really well. Okay?
Experience would not be complete without Katya coming. I mean, this place is supposed to be about vacation, it's supposed to be about relaxing, and nobody likes not working.
And look, again, we have this, the look, the vintage, thoughtful outfit. And there's Katya in the porta potty. My faves. My queens.
I'm Katya, Trixie's much older sister.
Okay, so she shows her around.
And told that it would be ready today. This does not look ready. For the last about 4 months, Trixie has been MIA, working on this stupid motel and basically ignoring. I'm late. I didn't want to come.
Oh, there's a door.
Oh, perfect. Okay, yeah. I'll just...
The doors I've opened in this industry.
Thanks.
The doors I've opened in this industry. Also funny, talented, smart.
I know.
It's very pink.
You hope
It's
you like it.
Come on, though.
This is incredible. Hi.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Come on.
It's gaggy.
Oh, look.
I'm gagging.
Yeah.
Yeah, I matched the tree.
I'm so
We
gagged.
have curtains. Wow. We got a little white trash chair.
Look at this. Do you see a single big plastic fucking thing? No.
Wow.
We just put these in. These are custom chairs. And look at this terrazzo bar.
Oh, terrazzo. Oh, come on. It's so cute.
You can't get quality like that up
No.
north.
Yeah, those are our trees.
Oh.
Yeah. For those long, lonely nights, baby.
Tastes great.
Look.
I know, right? I know.
The wallpaper.
This is probably a new experience for Katya. She's in a motel room and there's no cash on the nightstand.
This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. And yes, you can go there. You can stay there. Look at this. We have a wallpaper. We have a palette. Done. It's from the wallpaper. Okay? The palette is from the wallpaper. We have the exact same yellow, purple, pink, and bluish, grayish. And it's used everywhere. Okay? It is used. There is a flow. There is cohesion. We have rattan. We have a cane. It's a tropical theme. And it's done so well. But it's still outrageous. It's not for everyone. I don't want this as my room. But it's fun. And it's so distinctly Trixie Mattel. And it's so fun for a visit.
Get that off your back.
Oh, I love this.
I know, Mr. Peanut.
Oh.
Look at that.
Oh my
Look at
God,
this.
You can't find texture like that anywhere.
Not anymore.
Again, notice the colors. Notice the palette.
Oh shoot! Whoopsie daisy!
Timothy, oh no. Let me see what you see.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you know what I'm talking about? It's not everyone's aesthetic, and that's fine. That's fine. But it's well done. It's well done. It's well done. That's design, mama. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you, Times New Ponen's wife. And look, and another thing that I will point out. If we look in these rooms, think about, again, this is a hotel. It is not a house. It is not someone living here. Oh, this is just so gorgeous. This is my style. This sage green, and this too. This blue. Oh, it's rich. And oh, the light pink. It is so sweet. And these, oh. There's not bullshit everywhere. I have bullshit. I know it. I know I have bullshit everywhere. And we all like our stupid little things. Not everyone is going to like my collection of figurines. But I'm not prominently featuring big, disgusting plastic garbage cans. Oh yeah, sorry. Sorry here. Sorry. Oh, I just love this. Okay, so I was saying I love these color palettes. And you know what else about my bullshit? It's really me. It's really me. There's nothing in here that I could say, I don't really like Marvel, but I thought this was cool. I'm trying to think. I mean, there are books in here that are not necessarily books that I'm interested in, but I bought them for our wedding as decoration, and then I think that they look really cool, and books are neat decorations. So I guess maybe I'm teetering on Todrick there, but I think you'd be hard pressed to find somebody that doesn't want books in their house. So, you know. But come on. Oh. But that's the thing. If it makes you happy, it's fine. If that house makes Todrick happy, it's fine. But it's offensive to me. It's offensive to me. Yep. So yeah. Anyways, that's where I'll end it. I'm going to go help Matt now that I've made him wait forever. This has been just delightful. Thank you for letting me get that out of my system. Maybe I'll find something else to complain about and react to for next time. Okay? His feels like an exercise in spending as much money as possible, and this feels like we'll spend what we need to in order to make it good. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? People have been suggesting Trisha Paytas. Okay. Friday, we're doing a Trisha Paytas house tour, okay? All right? Be there. 10 a.m. Pacific time. Friday, Trisha Paytas house tour. And I know that Trisha also has a crazy house. So we'll do it, okay? In the meantime, I hope you have a good midweek. Be there and be square, or be square and have hair somewhere on you. Okay. Love you big. Be good. Make good choices. We had a video coming for you today, I think. And have a good, blessed afternoon.